Thanks for watching another episode of Rider Nation Station. Help us help you by subscribing on YouTube or following us on Facebook.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Albert Sporting Goods is here to outfit your team, both on and off the field. Since 1980, Albert Sporting Goods has serviced schools, clubs, and businesses throughout Ohio. For all of your uniform, spirit wear, and equipment needs, make it Albert Sporting Goods. Order online now at albertsportinggoods.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
St. Mary's Legion Post 323, veterans working for veterans and the future of our country. The St. Mary's Legion Post 323 supports veterans programs such as Gifts for Yanks, Support the Troops, Comfort Warriors, Blood Donor, POW MIA programs, as well as children and youth programs. The St. Mary's Legion Post 323 also donates thousands of dollars each year to local summer programs such as Boys State, Girls State, scholarships in education, Boy Scouts, oratorical, and shooting sports. St. Mary's Legion Post 323, remembering the past, living the present, and working for the future.
Auglaize Equipment Rental is your source for all your equipment needs. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner with a project, we can help get the job done more efficiently. Check us out at 1900 Salina Road or auglaizeequipmentrental.com or just call 419-394-7883. Auglaize Equipment Rental.
Buffalo Wild Wings in St. Mary's is proud to support Roughrider Athletics and the Memorial Student Athletes. Join Buffalo Wild Wings for each Roughrider football game streamed on Rider Nation Station. Buffalo Wild Wings, the greatest of all times.
St. Mary's Eagles 767 is dedicated to promoting the general welfare of the citizens of St. Mary's by giving special attention to public improvements. They are also committed to helping meet the public needs and all that relates to the betterment, convenience, and comforts of the citizens of St. Mary's. For more information on how you can become a member, call 419-394-3257 or stop in during business hours at 404 East Spring Street in St. Mary's. St. Mary's Eagles 767, people helping people.
Fellowship of Christian Athletes is a middle school and high school club looking to spread God's love throughout numerous schools and communities of our local area. FCA's favorite play of the game is both teams joining together in prayer at the conclusion of the game. God bless you, sports fans.
Alrighty, we welcome you to Grand Lake Health Systems Field. Joe Hurlbert alongside Zach Farrell as tonight, the Hall of Fame game. As the St. Mary's Roughriders host the Kenton Wildcats, the St. Mary's Roughriders come in with a record of 4-2 overall, 3-2 in the Western Buckeye League. The Kenton Wildcats come in, Zach, with a record of 1-4 in the Western Buckeye League, 1-5 overall. Of course, tonight is the induction ceremonies here at Grand Lake Health Systems Field of those that are being inducted into the Memorial Hall of Fame class of 2022. And we're going to be sending it down to our field announcer, Bill Kellemeyer, for the introduction of our inductees and honorees for tonight. But right now, the Memorial High School Marching Band is making their way out onto the playing surface. Zach, as far as the game is concerned, kind of an up and down year for the Kenton Wildcats. I saw that, in the league stats they're averaging offensively about 9 points a game, and that's not a typical Kenton ball club.
No, I watched a little film with Wapak, and I was really actually surprised. First quarter, they looked very good against Wapak. Marched right down the field, scored a touchdown. Looked like Kenton of old, throwing the ball over the place, nice crisp passes over the middle, and some dangerous-looking screen passes to the sides. And then after that, it was like they kind of forgot how to run their offense. So it worried me a little bit more because I thought, wow, they're just actually more just not consistent than they are not talented maybe this year. Definitely don't have, any mock brother back there throwing the ball down the field, but deep, but definitely still dangerous offense, despite what their record has shown and what the number of points scored has been this year. Also, I will say defensively, they really disrupt Walpock a lot. Walpock was not able to run very well on them in the first half. So St. Mary's needs to definitely not get behind in the first half, I think, and keep wearing on them. And we may see a runaway game in the second half, but not if we keep them in the game early on.
Well, when you talk about Kenton and their passing attack, even though they've got a 1-5 overall mark, their quarterback, Corbin Johnston, he's just a sophomore. He is second in the Western Buckeye League in passing. He's completed 91 of 152 passes for 1,063 yards, 4 touchdowns, of course, 5 interceptions. But anytime you put the football up that many times in the course of the ball game, that's going to happen. I'm sure head coach Zach Turner would like to have the touchdown mark up a little bit more than the interceptions, but that's just not the case. But we've seen Kenton do this before, and they'll take their beating, and with young quarterbacks and young players, and the next thing you know, by the time they're juniors and seniors, they're winning a lot of ball games.
Well, just like we saw with St. Mary's and our sophomore running backs, now we're 6 games into the season, and they're improving, and we're starting to play them more. So their sophomore quarterback is starting to get better and better.
Exactly. And we mentioned players like Aiden Hinkle, who we saw as a freshman, struggle as a freshman year, but over the course of his sophomore and junior year, gain that all-important experience. And then also we're seeing it with Colton Mabry as well. This is his second year. He's playing much better than he did of a year ago.
Right.
I think right now they're going to play the Memorial High School alma mater, so we'll stay and join them for that. The Memorial High School all-brass marching band performing the Memorial High School alma mater. And right now you can see on the field that the Memorial High School Hall of Fame inductees and honorees are making their way onto the playing surface. And we're going to turn this over to Bill Kellemeyer, who is the president of the Memorial High School Athletic Alumni Association. And he'll do the presentation and recognition of our honorees.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the 50-yard line of the football field where Bill Kellemeyer, president of the St. Mary's Memorial High School Alumni Foundation, will make a presentation to the 2022 Alumni Foundation Hall of Fame inductees.
In 2006, the St. Mary's Memorial High School Alumni Foundation was established to serve 2 primary functions: to raise endowment funds that benefit the St. Mary's City Schools, and to establish, administer, and maintain a Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame, in its initial inception, recognized those who have achieved excellence in three areas: academic and/or professional achievement, athletic achievement, and distinguished service to St. Mary's City Schools. In 2020, the Foundation's Advisory Committee added an additional category recognizing military service to country. In the interest of time, we ask that you hold your applause for the end of the ceremony. We also encourage you to read the program distributed to you this evening so that you can read the full account of the achievements of tonight's inductees, 8 accomplished individuals. Now for the 2022 inductees. For academic and professional achievement, the St. Mary's Memorial High School Alumni Foundation recognizes St. Mary's High School Class of 1922 alumnus, Dr. Elizabeth Y. Kuffner. The late Dr. Kuffner is represented by her grandchildren, Mrs. Kathy Lambert, Mr. Kurt Kuffner, and Mr. Chris Kuffner. In recognition of her extraordinary work as a medical doctor in the St. Mary's community, who was instrumental in the initial construction of the Joint Township District Memorial Hospital, where she delivered the first girl, boy, twins, and triplets. Also in recognition of Dr. Kuffner's service to her nation in World War II and the Korean War, where she was the only second woman to be commissioned as an officer in the regular army and was commissioned as a major. The Alumni Foundation inducts Dr. Elizabeth Y. Kuffner into the St. Mary's Memorial High School Alumni Foundation Hall of Fame. Achievement. Department of Education, and the teaching Alumni Foundation for Francisco. University for Alumni Foundation recognized level
ways she never knew. In recognition of her decades of outstanding and superior service to St. Mary City Schools, the Alumni Foundation inducts Mrs. Fern Johns into the St. Mary's Memorial High School Alumni Foundation Hall of Fame for service to St. Mary City Schools. For distinguished service to St. Mary City Schools, the St. Mary's Memorial High School Alumni Foundation recognizes Mr. Daniel A. Griffin. Griff, as he was affectionately known, served 25 years in St. Mary City Schools as assistant principal and principal at Memorial High School. He was the leader of teachers and students who possessed a strong moral compass and great compassion while setting a high standard for himself and those around him. He has earned the universal respect of his former colleagues, teachers, and students. To this day, is beloved by his former teachers and students. He is always simply Mr. Griffin. In recognition of his decades of outstanding and superior service to St. Mary City Schools and continued effect on families in our community as a licensed funeral director, the Alumni Foundation inducts Mr. Daniel A. Griffin into the St. Mary's Memorial High School Alumni Foundation Hall of Fame for service to St. Mary's City Schools. For military service to country, the St. Mary's Memorial High School Alumni Foundation recognizes MHS Class of 1938 alumnus, the late Sergeant Herbert C. Tex Linville, Jr. Representing Mr. Linville are his nephew, William Freidiger, and nieces Ariane Almendinger, April Enderud, Lana Henders, Adrian Long, and Anna Pohl. On July 11, 1943, in the Munda Campaign of the Pacific Theater in World War II, Sergeant Linville led a patrol against the Japanese salient. As the patrol reached a point 35 yards from the enemy machine gun, Sergeant Linville chose to advance alone and attempt to accomplish the mission rather than jeopardize the entire patrol. Cognizant that to do so would cost him his life, he nevertheless continued forward, attracted the attention of a Japanese machine gunner, and was killed instantly. The mission was accomplished, and unbeknownst to Mr. Linville, his friend Sergeant Charles V. Kettler was killed in action on the same day in a separate act of selflessness. For his bravery and valor, and for making the ultimate sacrifice for his country, the Alumni Foundation inducts Sergeant Herbert C. Tex Linville, Jr. into the St. Mary's Memorial High School Alumni Foundation Hall of Fame for military service to country. For military service to country, the St. Mary's Memorial High School Alumni Foundation recognizes MHS Class of 1939 alumnus, the late Staff Sergeant Charles V. Check Kettler. Representing Mr. Kettler is his great-niece, Mrs. Kim Morlino. On July 11, 1943, in the Munda Campaign in the Pacific Theater in World War II, Company K was assaulting the Japanese strongholds. Staff Sergeant Kettler and fellow soldiers were pinned down by a heavy enemy machine gun fighter when Kettler located the hostile section and aggressively moved forward alone in an attempt to eliminate the threat. Upon reaching 25 yards removed from his objective, he threw a hand grenade which missed the mark. Disregarding the intensity of the enemy's fire, he crawled closer, grenaded the position as he moved forward, and completely demolished it, and enabled his platoon to continue its advance. In doing so, Staff Sergeant Kettler sacrificed his life. Unbeknownst to Staff Sergeant Kettler, his friend Sergeant Herbert C. Tex Linville, Jr. was killed in action on the same day in a separate act of selflessness. For his bravery and valor, for making the ultimate sacrifice for his country, the Alumni Foundation inducts Staff Sergeant Charles V. Check Kettler into the St. Mary's Memorial High School Alumni Foundation Hall of Fame for military service to country. Please join me now in a round of applause for our Hall of Fame members, the late Dr. Elizabeth Y. Kuffner, Mr. Thomas S. Petter, Mr. Jeff Sisko, Mr. Dominic Guineri, the late Mrs. Fern Johns, Mr. Daniel A. Griffin, the late Sergeant Herbert C. Tex Linville, Jr., and the late Staff Sergeant Charles V. Chick Kettler.
always feel.
Well, right now the Memorial High School All-Brass Marching Band getting information. We'll soon have the presentation of colors, and then the playing of our national anthem, and then we'll get this game underway as the St. Mary's Roughriders host the Kenton Wildcats in this WBL encounter here at Grand Lake Health Systems Field, Rider Nation Station. Glad to have you along. And, of course, we got a lot of things taking place up here in the booth this evening. Of course, one of the inductees and one of his players will be with us at halftime. That will be Dominic Guarneri, the men's and women's golf coach at the University of Findlay, the Division II Coach of the Year in Division II after the women's golf team won the national title, their first ever at the University of Findlay. And, of course, he will bring with him former St. Mary's Memorial High School alumni and team member Jill Schmidtmeyer will be here. And then later on in the contest between the third and fourth quarter, we'll have Tom Petter will join us here in the booth, and so we'll get to talk to all three of those individuals. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the presentation of colors, the playing of the national anthem, and we'll get this contest underway here at Grand Lake Health Systems Field. We'll take a break. We'll be right back right after this.
Hello, I'm Dr. Ellen Hunter, owner of Family Audiology Associates with offices in Salina and St. Mary's. I am a St. Mary's Memorial graduate and a proud supporter of our Auglaize and Mercer County community. Since 2004, my staff and I have tested and treated the hearing imbalance of many of our infants, children, adults, and elderly in our community, and we would be proud for you or your loved one to be one of our next patients. Call Family Audiology Associates today, your hometown hearing experts, and go Riders!
Here at TLC, we expanded our business, so we wanted the security of knowing exactly where all the kids are and what's going on in each of the rooms. We chose Fowler's because we've done all our televisions with them, and they mentioned they have security systems. So we just wanted to go out and look at it, and they were very upfront, and they do excellent work from start to finish. And so we chose Fowler's TV. It's been great for us here at TLC Learning Center, and Fowler's TV would be great for anyone.
Guarneri's Pizzeria and Pub has partnered with Rider Nation Station this season so that every Friday night, Guarneri's can be Rough Rider Central. Guarneri's will be streaming Rough Rider football live every Friday night at 7, paired with your favorite Rider aid. Call Guarneri's during or after the game to place your pickup order for pizza, wings, or hoagies at 419-394-2244. Remember, Guarneri's, home of the signature Big Ralph. All righty, we welcome you back to Grand Lake Health System Field. Joe Hurlbert alongside Zach Farrell as we get ready to bring you this contest between the Kenton Wildcats and the St. Mary's Roughriders. And right now you see on your screen our presentation of our nation's colors presented by the VFW Post and the American Legion Post 323 here in St. Mary's. Then after they make their way to the south end zone, we will have the playing of our national anthem by the St. Mary's Memorial All-Brass Marching Band.
Still missing.
Right now, as they get ready to play the national anthem, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with the kickoff and tonight's ball game right after this. If you're looking to renovate your home, former Rough Rider football standout Craig Hewer is your go-to man. Hewer Renovating is an all-phase residential specialist with over 40 years experience and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Improve your investment by giving Hewer Renovating a call at 419-394-8643. Kogi Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has brought the best in comfort control and plumbing services to the St. Mary's area for over 57 years. Kogies takes pride in identifying heating, plumbing, and air conditioning solutions which stand out from the rest. Give Kogies a call today. Kogi, Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, a name you can trust. And here comes the Roughriders out onto the playing surface.
They look ready to go, Joe. Nice crisp fall evening here. About time we had some actual football weather, as we've had all these 90-degree days. I guess we did get a little bit less temperature last week. 61 degrees on the playing field.
Well, we got a moment, Zach. We want to pass this along to those along Rider Nation Station that the Rider football family lost a good human being today as Mike Daniel, class of 1994. He was a staple on the D-line for the 92-93 state teams. He passed away this morning, and we want to send our thoughts and prayers out to the Daniel family. Of course, Mike is the brother-in-law to defensive coordinator Nick Yale. So our thoughts and prayers go out to Nick and his wife and also the Daniel family. So I remember he was a good one. He was a good one.
Yeah, very sad.
As we mentioned, the St. Mary's Roughriders come in after a big win last week over the Shawnee Indians, 41-14, and of course, they finally put 4 quarters of football together. Played extremely well. Of course, the offensive attacks is the mainstay of the St. Mary's Roughriders. You know, I've always said if you can stop the Rough Rider running game, you can stop the St. Mary's Roughriders, but that has yet to be the case this season. Even though Van Wert handed them a pretty good thumping, it was still the offense, I thought, played well. I think they put up like 40 points in that ball game against Van Wert. So
I don't think the coaches were willing to say it, but you got to think that that's probably one of their best offensive games this season. Yeah. But it doesn't feel great when you give up 71 points on the other side.
Exactly.
And last week, we saw a lot of good things. We saw a lot of players get extra time that haven't played, and but we also saw some things offensively that weren't great. Getting stopped inside the 3-yard line at the beginning of the game was not good. Definitely something that I'm sure they worked on. St. Mary's offenses just cannot get stopped inside the 5-yard line. It's got to be basically automatic.
Absolutely. This kickoff is being brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Be a legend, insure your life. Stop by and see Laura or Logan Yelton, your State Farm agents in St. Mary's. At your convenience, Jay Schaefer puts a foot into it. It'll go to the 4-yard line. And the returner was Grady Clayman Beasley for the Kenton Wildcats, and we've got a Rough Rider player down. Oh, and that doesn't look good. We're going to take a quick break while they attend to the Rough Rider player on the field. We'll come back right after this.
Are you looking for a new trailer or needing your current one fixed? Then head over to Midway Trailer Sales. We're conveniently located just off U.S. Highway 33 in St. Mary's and Interstate 75 in Dayton. We're your one-stop shop for new and used trailers, flatbeds, and snowplows. We also offer a wide array of parts to fit your trailer's needs. Our professional service team will get you back on the road in no time. And of course, we're Ohio's only authorized Humpty Hopper dealer. Come visit us at www.midwaytrailers.net. When you need a haul, give Midway a call.
Miller Funeral Home has been serving the Rough Rider community in its time of need since the 70s. Our business is a family affair, dedicated to serving families with integrity, dignity, and compassion. Miller Funeral Home, proud to be a supporter of the Rough Rider community.
If you want a winning banking relationship for all your financial needs, let Minster Bank help. We can make all your winning dreams come true. Find us at minsterbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Plus One Professionals Real Estate always goes the extra mile. Besides listing and selling, they offer free use of their moving van and a free interior design consultation to their customers. Plus One Professionals, going the extra mile.
Colder weather is just around the corner, and you want to make sure your family's vehicle is tuned up and ready to go. Rabel's Auto Service has been voted the best auto repair center in St. Mary's the last 3 years. And did you know they will pick up and deliver your vehicle for free? Give Rabel's Auto Service a call at 419-394-1624 or stop in and see Jeremy at 1610 Salina Road in St. Mary's. Rabel's Auto Service in St. Mary's. Give them a call today.
Speckman Automotive, with stores in St. Mary's and Wapakoneta, is your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs. Family run since 1960, Speckman Automotive upholds the tradition of blending old-fashioned customer service with modern technology that the customers expect and deserve. Shop local. Shop Speckman Automotive.
Hello, I'm Dr. Robert Spees. Welcome to Spees Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
As a family practice, Spees Chiropractic welcomes in patients of all ages. Whether this is your first time or you've done this before, Dr. Spees and his compassionate staff are here for you. What makes Spees Chiropractic unique is their three-tier approach. By using chiropractic care alongside massage therapy and physical therapy, all your healthcare needs will be treated compassionately and comprehensively. Spees Chiropractic. Make the right choice for your care.
All righty, we welcome you back to Grand Lake Health Systems Field, where the injured player is Jake Fry, and he was injured on the ensuing kickoff, and they are attending to him still on the field. They have a cart out there, and I think he's going to be carted off and then obviously taken to the hospital. His injury looks pretty severe from our vantage point.
Yeah, lower body, ankle, so
so speculate, but nonetheless, so just wanted to bring that to you.
While we can talk a little bit about the Alumni Foundation presentation that went on tonight. Of course, it is Alumni Hall of Fame night here, and if you weren't tuned in prior to the game tonight, we honored several inductees into the Alumni Foundation Hall of Fame. Starting first with military service to country, we had Sergeant Herbert C. Tex Linville Jr. and Staff Sergeant Charles V. Chick Kettler. And then we had the 2022 MHS Alumni Foundation Hall of Fame inductee for service to St. Mary's, Fern Johns, the late Fern Johns, and Daniel A. Griffin. Was Griff at the high school when you were there?
Yes, he was. He was
assistant principal at the time?
Yep. And I think at one time he was, I want to say he was a guidance counselor, but I could be wrong on that.
Yeah. Going back to the military service, just an amazing story of honor and sacrifice from those two.
Sure.
Both passed away at the same time in the Pacific Front, I think on different islands with on the same day.
Really?
And they were good friends, just heartbreaking. But we hopefully honor them for their service and sacrifice.
Absolutely.
Just a little bit through this recognition today. Looking then at the 2022 MHS Alumni Foundation Hall of Fame inductee for athletic achievement, Jeff Sisko. Through the years, the people that have told me Jeff Sisko is the best running back that St. Mary's ever saw. Jeff Sisko, if not the best, always in the top 3 discussion as the best running back that St. Mary's ever had. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to see him, and I really haven't seen a lot of films from that era. So, can you enlighten me?
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. If you mention, like you said, running backs as far as Roughrider football is concerned, Jeff Sisko's name is obviously one of the top names that are mentioned. He was just a fierce competitor, and if you saw this week's Third and Long program, we had an opportunity to talk about Jeff and Roger Duncan and Denny Long and Greg Freewalt, who coached Jeff in that time frame. Just said he was just an absolute fierce competitor, and when the game was on the line, Jeff wanted the football. And I can specifically remember a game down at Skip Bachman Stadium when the OG Titans came into town, and it was just one of those, it was a track meet. St. Mary's would score, Sisko would score 80 yards away, Kenton would answer, the next thing, OG would answer, and then the Rough Riders would answer, and there was like 5 touchdowns back and forth in that ball game, and eventually the Rough Riders won, but Jeff Sisko said a lot of times would put the team on his shoulders and just get him an opening, and he'll make it happen.
And then, of course, we have the 2022 Alumni Foundation Hall of Fame inductee for athletic achievement, Dominic Guarneri. Of course, the son of Big Ralph Guarneri. Mm-hmm. That's always where my mind goes first when I think of Dom. But certainly making an amazing name for himself as the head coach at Findlay and the NCAA Division II National Championship champions last year. So we're going to have Dom and Jill Schmidtmeyer in the up here in the press box at halftime and talk to them a little bit.
You see on your screen the Rough Rider teams, the teammates of Jake Fry going out and supporting him, and that's a nice gesture of that's what teammates are all about right there.
That's good.
Of course, I think the indication that we have heard that it's a right ankle fracture, and so I would pretty much say that his season is pretty much over, but nonetheless.
Good to see that support from
absolutely.
From his.
Absolutely.
Just to go real quick here, 2022 MHS Alumni Foundation inductee for academic or professional achievement. We have the late Dr. Elizabeth Y. Kuffner and Thomas S. Petter, and you're going to have Tom Petter here in the third quarter.
Absolutely. Well, we're back to action. Quarterback Corbin Johnston throws the pass out to Tim Wilkerson, and we'll give him a gain of about 7, 8, about 8.5 on the play. We'll call it second down and a long 2. Just no huddle by the Kenton offense, and Johnston. They're going to go deep, and the ball is picked off. Good pick by number 37.
Jacob Kessler.
Jacob Kessler picks the pass off, so a excellent play by Kessler.
A lot of confusion on the St. Mary's sideline. There's a player coming off injured. Kenton was running with a no huddle. St. Mary's player comes running on at the last minute, not really able to get himself in position, but Kessler was in the right position. Kenton tried to test St. Mary's deep, and that's the kind of what we talked a little bit about in the pregame was Kenton looked pretty good when they're making some short, controllable passes, but not able to do anything over the top like they have in previous years.
Give the ball to Aiden Hinkle. Hinkle to the 40, so his first carry of the night is good for 7 yards. So we'll see if the Rough Rider offense can capitalize on the excellent pick by Jacob Kessler. And Kessler's just a 6 foot, 175-pound sophomore, folks. Cody Wallace will give the ball to Mabry, and he'll pick up a Fowler TV first down as he gets the ball to the 30-yard line of Kenton, where it will be 1st and 10.
Kenton's trying to disrupt, but man, these are some giant holes, and we're seeing St. Mary's bodies 10 yards down the field pushing their guys back. So it's looking good so far for St. Mary's offensively.
Wing to the right, give the ball to Mabry, and he'll get inside the 25. They'll mark it at the 24. So we'll give him a gain of 6 on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and 4.
Seeing a lot of outside running to the right side of that offensive line. Of course, that's the side that we've seen a lot of heavy formations out of with Braden Saylor and some other players on that right side defensively. Greg Felver. Kenton really sitting on the inside.
Yep, Aiden Hinkle carries the football for another Fowler TV first down, and the Riders continue to move the sticks, and they'll place the ball right at the 15-yard line, so the Rough Riders in the red zone. And really, in all honesty, the Rough Riders have been very successful this season inside the red zone.
Yeah, that's what's so shocking last week for them to get stopped by a Shawnee defense that should not have been able to stop them.
I believe that's Osborne on the carry.
It's great to see Dominic Osborne right off the bat getting some carries here. Really kind of a coming out party last week against Shawnee. Good hard runner, just a sophomore. And as Coach Bo Fry talked about in his show this week, bringing him out allows you to keep Sharp and some other players off the field
so they can focus on defense.
That's right.
Full house in the backfield. Give the ball to Sullivan. Sullivan, touchdown, Rough Riders. And just like that, in their first possession of the game, the St. Mary's Rough Riders score. So they do capitalize off the interception by Kessler and put 6 on the board. And now Logan Rush will come on to attempt the point after touchdown. Braden Sullivan will hold. Now we've got, I have no idea what that means. To you?
Reset the play clock.
Oh. There you go.
Thanks to Andy Ramel sitting next to us that knows more.
Kick up by Logan Rush is good. So with 9:42 remaining here in the first quarter, on the Family Audiology scoreboard, it's your St. Mary's Rough Riders 7, the Kenton Wildcats nothing. Back right after this.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
This Rough Rider kickoff is being brought to you by Laura Yelton, State Farm Insurance. Be a legend, insure your life. Stop by and see Laura or Logan Yelton, your State Farm agents in St. Mary's today. Jay Schaefer will do the kicking for the Rough Riders. Tim Wilkinson will be back for the Kenton Wildcats, and I think on the other side I believe it's going to be Clayman Beasley, I believe.
Well, not counting the injury, that's about as good of a start as you can imagine for St. Mary's. Yeah. That was a 47-yard drive there by the offense.
We'll check that. This is Colby Howard on the return for the Kenton Wildcats, and good job by the Rough Riders special teams. I think when we talk to Coach Bo Fry each and every week, I think their goal is to keep the kickoff return inside the 30, I believe is what he has told us in the past. So that goal they accomplished on this particular kickoff. So here comes the Kenton Wildcats, and here comes Corbin Johnston, a 6'1 sophomore. As I mentioned, he's second in the Western Buckeye League. The Wildcats will send 4 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Johnston by himself in the backfield. Turns. Pass is complete to Clayman Beasley, and he's going to go nowhere. Give him a gain of about a yard on the play, so we'll call it 2nd down and 9. Johnston looking for Cooper Johnston, and that'll be enough for a Wildcat first down. So they'll move the chain. So Corbin Johnston to Cooper Johnston.
Both with K, have to be brothers, right?
I would think so. One's a senior, one's a sophomore. Johnson, he's looking over the middle, going deep, and pass is overthrown. Pass was intended for Cooper Johnston.
That's dangerous, Joe. He had a couple steps past the defender and just through his hands. Wow.
Here on the Schaff Auto Sales replay, you can just see it just off the fingertips of Cooper Johnston. Corbin, couple step drop, and here comes Braxton King, and he kind of sidearms it out, and nice play by Johnston. Braxton King had him in his sights, but he was able to elude him and get the pass off. We'll give him a gain of about 9 on the play. We'll give him a gain of 8, so we'll call it 3rd down and 2. Johnston's going to run it up the middle. Ball's on the ground.
Ball's still out.
Still loose. Roughriders got it.
Looked like 23. Caleb Felver fell on top of that one. The rest of his guys are laying on him, making sure he's got it. Well, just Johnston never had a grip on the ball. Tried to pick it up and keep running, and should have just fallen on it because never was able to grab it again.
Yeah, that's always a rule in football. You fumble it, don't try to pick it up, because chances are it's going to get knocked out of your hands, or you're not going to get a clean grasp on it, and it's going to just continue on, and the Rough Riders were able to capitalize. Their second possession. There's Dominic Osborne, and he'll gain about a yard on the play, if that. For the most part, Kenton defense strung that play out.
Yeah, Kenton defense looked a lot more energetic right there than they did the entire first drive of St. Mary's. Need to see St. Mary's offensive line really keep stepping on their throats, you know.
Caleb Felver checks into the ball game for the Rough Riders, and here comes Colton Mabry, and he'll pick up a Fowler TV first down. Nice run by Mabry. Just follows his blockers. Good blocking again up front.
Yeah, look how big that hole is, Joe, on that Larry Schaff Auto Sales replay. My gosh.
Yep. So we've got a timeout on the field. It's official timeout. We're going to reset the game clock.
Sending a player off. Usually that's blood or injury. It's like blood on his knee.
So here comes the Rough Riders. Turn. Hand off to Henkel.
Well,
Henkel will give him a gain of 7 on the play.
That was a classic trap, but you see what Kenton did, and they've done this for years, is they put a guy really down low, and they just tell him to basically dive out into the center and guards and just try to create a pile to take away the trap. Nice job of Aiden Hinkle recognizing that, takes his time, sidesteps to the left, gets up the field for 8 yards. That's just something that we've seen him as a senior be able to do that he never was able to do before.
Quick pitch to Hinkle, will run to the right. He'll get to the 20 before he's knocked out of bounds, and that'll be another Fowler TV first down, so they'll move the chains. Rough Riders get to the red zone one more time. They're going to mark it right at the 20-yard line. 6:43 remaining on the Family Audiology scoreboard. Rough Riders lead 7-0 after they've scored on their first possession. Turn, give the ball to Mabry. Mabry will get a couple on the play.
Colby Howard, number 9 that time, able to come from his safety position up there and make that play. Tells me that they're really starting to sit on those sweeps and the runs to the outside.
Hinkle and Mabry behind Wallace. 3-step drop. He's got Steinberg by himself, and he overthrows him. Boy, he was wide open. had his defender beat in the end zone. The pass was high. Here you see it on the Larry Schaff replay. Wide open, just too high.
And that was what I was about to say was with Colby Howard sitting on the sweep like that, it may be time to try to pass over the top like that. And you can see he was kind of stunned in the middle, not even thinking about a pass.
They're going to counter back with Mabry to the 10, to the 6. We got a Dave Weilbacher penalty flag flying on
Face
the play.
mask.
And it'll be a face mask against the Kenton Wildcats.
Oh, yeah, number 6 right there. Not an egregious one. Lets go of it pretty quick, but watch maybe come through the hole. Yep, number 6 reaches out. And that'll be half the distance to the goal, Joe.
So they'll mark the football at the 2.5-yard line. Full house in the backfield for the Rough Riders. They're knocking on the door with their second possession. Quarterback sneak by Wallace, and is going to get about a yard and a half, so they'll be a little bit short of the goal line. So they're going to place the nose of the football right at the 1-yard line. So it'll be second goal for the Rough Riders.
Joe, I can't remember if I saw the stat, if it was college or pro football, but it said that the most efficient play you can do at the goal line is a QB sneak. It's 92% effective.
Aiden Hinkle, just a little off-tackle dive, so to speak, and he's into the end zone for another Rough Rider touchdown.
Pretty effective when you have 210-pound fullback Aiden Hinkle rolling downhill too.
And you're running behind 260-pound center Caleb Miller and Trent Wyckoff at 165. He's the baby of the bunch. And Xavier Leclerc at 370. So Logan Rush on to attempt the point after for the Rough Riders to see if he can extend this lead to 14-0. Sullivan will hold. Snap is back. Hold is down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 5:26 remaining on the Family Audiology scoreboard, it's your St. Mary's Rough Riders 14, the Kenton Wildcats nothing. Back with the Rough Rider kickoff right after this.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Back at Grand Lake Health Systems Field, Joe Hurlbert alongside Zach Farrell, Rider Nation Station. Glad to have you along wherever you may be watching tonight across this vast world of ours. There are about, what do you think, 50 to 60 young cheerleaders here helping the Rough Rider varsity cheerleader squad tonight?
Yeah, youth football cheerleader night. Want to make sure that they're part of Rough Rider football for future generations. They're doing a great job down there cheering with the varsity and junior varsity cheerleaders.
This Rough Rider kickoff being brought to you by Laura Yelton State Farm Insurance. Be a legend, insure your life. See Logan or Laura Yelton, your State Farm agents in St. Mary's. Kickoff return is brought back by Grady Clayman Beasley. Good job by the Rough Rider special teams as they bring him down at around the 25-yard line or so. 24, they're going to mark it, so we'll call it 1st and 10.
Yeah, great job staying in their lanes. Jamal Kessler making that nice open field tackle.
Johnston stands. He's going to go deep, and the pass is out of bounds.
Cade Smith, he's got some long reach. 6'1", 135, but watch on this Larry Schaff Auto Sales replay here how high he was able to reach up there.
Nice catch, but unfortunately for Kenton, he was out of bounds, so it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Wildcats. They have a man in motion to the left. Johnston back. He's flushed out of the pocket. He's going to throw it across the middle. The pass was intended for Tim Wilkinson. Should have been caught, but it was dropped. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 10 for Kenton. And then, of course, it's kind of an idiotic statement, but it brings up a passing situation for Kenton. But every down is a passing situation for the Kenton Wildcats. Johnston, and the pass is intended for, I believe, Clayman Beasley, and it was out of bounds, incomplete, so it'll bring up a punting situation for the Wildcats.
Now that was one of those that we talk about sometimes with Mark Sisko, with the defender getting a lot of pressure on the receiver there. But the ball was so far out of bounds that the official's not going to call any pass interference. Yeah. There isn't a catchable rule in high school, but they had that discretion.
Get it. Well, the punter was Tyson Lawrence. And we've got a Dave Weilbacher penalty flag on the play as Jamal Kessler has his helmet yanked off, I believe. Let's see what happens here.
Well, seeing the replay there, a little bit of twist in the legs by Kenton and late hit there at the end of the game, or at the end of the tackle. That was a bizarre punt. It was kind of a, I don't know if it's shanked or blocked or.
Well, keep in mind that Tyson Lawrence only averages 29 yards per punt. He's last in the Western Buckeye League. That one, he kicked about a foot off the ground.
15 yards will be added in the run. 1st down.
So the personal foul is on Lawrence, the punter. So it'll be 15 yards added on to the end of the run. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Roughriders.
I'm not sure if we have an angle here showing the punter and the helmet being ripped off, but.
Now we got another Dave Weilbacher penalty on the play, and this will be against Kenton as well. Five-yard penalty against the Kenton Wildcats will bring it to 1st and 5 for the Roughriders as Cody Wallace trots back in with the play. Reset the game clock.
So far for Kenton, that's 3 penalties for 22 yards and 2 turnovers. Just 4 minutes left in the first quarter.
Aiden Hinkle jumps over a defender to the 5, 10, touchdown! What a run by Aiden Hinkle. About 22 yards away, I believe. Watch him hurdle the defender. Boom. And that's just good. That's just experience. You can't coach that stuff.
We've talked about it all year. His vision has improved so much this year. It's incredible.
Nice shot right there by our camera crew.
Even last year, he was putting his head down and just sort of trying to run people over. And man, he's getting faster. He's got some vision. He's really coming on this year.
Point after by Logan Rush is up, and it is good. So with 4:46 remaining here in the first quarter, it's the St. Mary's Roughriders 21. The Kenton Wildcats nothing. We'll take a break. We'll come back right after this. All right.
Unique Awards and Signs, here to take care of your signage, graphic award, and gift customization needs. From banners for your graduate or corporate sponsors to awards recognizing those dedicated employees or champion sport teams. Stop in at 1865 Salina Road or call us at 419-394-1612.
Did you?
No, that was all righty. We welcome you back to Grand Lake Health System Field. Of course, we want to make mention with that touchdown run by Aiden Hinkle. He is the Western Buckeye League's leading rusher with 102 carries for 788 yards, 11 touchdowns, make it 13 because he's already scored twice, and he needs 112 yards tonight to reach 1,000 yards for the season, and he's already at what,
55
yards.
6 rushes for 55 yards right now. Not to be outdone, Colton Mabry, 5 rushes for 43 yards.
Wow. Well, this Rough Rider kickoff is being brought to you once again by Lori Yelton, State Farm Insurance. Be a legend, insure your life. Stop by and see Logan or Lori Yelton, your State Farm agents in St. Mary's, next week. Schaefer will kick the football off. Colby Howard and Wilkerson back to receive the kickoff. This is Howard. He's at the 5. He's got an opening. He's to the 30. Cuts to the outside, to the 35, to the 38-yard line. 39 will give it to him, and he is brought down by the Rough Riders. Special teams, so it'll be the Kenton's ball, 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
Well, as much praise as we gave them for keeping their lanes on the last kickoff, that time they got bottled up and unable to keep their lane and keep him forced to the inside. That's your job. You know, always keep him forced to the inside so he can't get an outside lane to run through.
3 receivers to the right, to the left for Kenton Wildcats. Johnston throws it out, and the pass is complete to Tyson Lawrence. We'll give him a gain of 8 on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and 2. Lawrence on the inside handoff. He'll get the 1st down, and he'll run out of bounds at the St. Mary's 46-yard line. So Kenton will go with their no-huddle offense.
Yeah, just a little.
We're going out of a little polecat formation. We'll see what happens out of this. The ball rolls back, and the quarterback was number 3, Luke Leffler, and the snap rolled back to Leffler. He wasn't able to pick it up, and the Rough Riders corral him. Kevin Perry in on the tackle, along with a host of other Rough Riders. Kevin Perry, I might also mention, is the Western Buckeye League's leading tackler. Jay Schaefer got off the pile there, I saw on the instant replay. So it'll be 2nd down. We'll call it 22 for Kenton.
We're going to try to get some back on the ground here.
And the quarterback is Luke Leffler. So
not sure if Johnston is injured or if they just want to try something else because they're down 21-0 already, but looks like Luke Leffler is the new quarterback for Kenton. I'm guessing that he can run a lot better than he can throw.
We've got a Dave Weilbacher penalty on the play, and it'll be against the St. Mary's Rough Riders. So it was 3rd and 10. It'll now be 3rd and 5 with the 5-yard penalty being marked off against the Rough Rider defense. Leffler, pass.
Almost picked off again.
Good defense by Braden Sullivan, I believe, was in there to knock the football down. Almost picked it off.
Not a bad ball, but well behind his receiver.
4th down and 5 for Kenton. They're going for it. They have nothing to lose. The Rough Riders thought about jumping, and they backed down. They didn't cross the plane.
Oh,
there's a flag, and I think it's going to be on the offense. So the offense is going to be pushed back 5 yards. The Dave Weilbacher penalty. For all your attorney at law legal needs, Dave Weilbacher call. 216-225-9181. Now they're going to punt the football. Back to receive the punt for St. Mary's is Braden Sullivan and Keegan Sharp. Lawrence, a low line drive, and it's going to be picked up by Sullivan. We've got, that's a marker. Instead of, I look like a flag. And yeah.
We've been tricked a couple times this year. Those new markers are big, bright, and orange, and it's pretty close to looking like a flag sometimes.
So the Rough Riders, when it's all said and done, will have the football 1st and 10 with 2:40 remaining. The ball will be placed at the, we'll call it the 17-yard line. Wallace will turn, give the ball to Mabry. Mabry had a hole but stumbled as he made the cut. We'll give him a gain of about 3 on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and a long 7 for the Rough Riders.
Another great hole for him there. Nice classic sweep to the outside. Great job by Trent Wycuff, and looked like Greg Felver coming through there. First time we've seen Sharp run the ball today.
Keegan Sharp picks up good yardage, so we'll call it 3rd down and about 2 for the Rough Riders. Ball is setting at the Rough Rider 25-yard line, so this is a big play for the Rough Riders. Kenton has yet to stop the Rough Riders and force them into a punting situation. We'll see if that's the case here. Pitch to Hinkle. It'll be a Fowler TV 1st down. He's still on his feet. Wow. And he will cross the 35-yard line, so it'll be a Fowler TV 1st down. They'll move the sticks for the Rough Riders.
Watch this replay here. Cooper Johnston throws off his block and then just gets run over by Aiden Hinkle. He didn't even, I don't think he even slowed him down, Joe.
1st down Rough Riders. Ball is resting at the St. Mary's 36-yard line. We've got an official timeout on the field. We're going to reset the clock. The game clock. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rough Riders at their own 36-yard line. Aiden Hinkle, the lone setback. Look for a counterback by the Rough Riders. Nope, it's going to go. Wallace is going to throw it. He's got Sharp deep. Catches it at the 35, to the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Rough Riders. Cody Wallace put this one right on the money.
Great play call there. Get a 1st down, running all over Kenton all night. You know that they're cheating up on you. There's number 9 again. Cheating up, trying to get into the rushing play. Sharp runs right past him.
64-yard pitch and catch, I believe, from Wallace to Keegan Sharp.
That's correct, Joe. Officially 64 yards according to the stats that I'm looking at.
Logan Rush on to attempt the point after to extend the Rough Rider lead to 28-0. We'll see how that goes. Braden Sullivan will hold. Kick is up and the kick is good. So with 1 minute remaining in the 1st quarter, it's the St. Mary's Rough Riders 28. The Kenton Wildcats nothing. Back with the Rough Rider kickoff right after these messages.
VFW 9289's mission is to honor all veterans, past, present, and future. Come on out on Football Friday nights to watch the live stream of Rough Rider football. VFW 9289, a proud sponsor of Rider Nation Station.
Back at Grand Lake Health Systems Field, Joe Hurlbert alongside Zach Farrell. 1 minute remaining here in the 1st quarter. This reminder, we'll have the big Rough Rider replay in between the 1st and 2nd quarters. And then once again in between the 3rd and 4th quarter. So on to do the kicking for the Rough Riders. It looks like it's going to be Logan Rush to do the kicking for the Rough Riders. And this kickoff is being brought to you once again by State Farm Insurance. Stop by and see Laura and Logan Yelton, State Farm agents in St. Mary's. And remember, be a legend, insure your life. Of course, joining us here in the booth tonight is a little cutout of Jake from State Farm.
We did joke about having a Jake cutout.
Uh-huh.
I was picturing a full size one.
No, we got a mini Jake.
Yeah.
Russia's kickoff comes up a little bit short, but it is caught and returned by number 29. That's Cade Smith for the Kenton Wildcats, and they'll set the football down at around the 33-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Kenton Wildcats. We'll see what quarterback the Kenton Wildcats will use this particular series. Pass up, passes down, and it is caught. Pass is caught, I believe, by number 23, I believe.
Yep,
That's
Johnston.
Cooper Johnston. Quarterback is Luke Leffler. They set the chains, clock has started. Leffler in the shotgun by himself, 3 receivers to the right, to the left, man in motion. Leffler keeps it right up the middle, breaks a tackle and dives inside the 30. They'll place it at the Roughrider 29-yard line. We'll give him a gain of about 9 on the play. We'll call it 2nd down, and we'll call it a long one. Leffler's going to go right back up the middle again.
Ball's out.
Hunter Mabry has it, and I think the Roughriders recover. So another takeaway for the St. Mary's Roughriders, and the fumble will give it back to St. Mary's with 11 seconds remaining.
That one's going to make the American Legion Post 323 highlight film tomorrow.
There you see the orange marker that the officials throw on the field once the ball is considered a fumble.
Leffler just trying to reach out for more yardage, and he's wrapped up, and the ball just pops out the side. St. Mary's right there to get on it.
Bo Fry out talking to the officials, not sure what that conversation's all about. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Roughriders, 11 ticks of the clock remaining here in the first quarter. Keep in mind the Roughriders struck pretty quick last time. Dominic Osborne will go to the left side, the wide side of the field. We'll give him a gain of about 3 on the play, and that should end the first quarter here at Grand Lake Health Systems Field. So at the end of 1, it's the St. Mary's Roughriders 28, the Kenton Wildcats nothing on the Family Audiology scoreboard. And it's time now to take a listen to our big Roughrider replay. That's being brought to you by Guarneri's Pizzeria and Pub, home of the signature Big Ralph sub, pizza and calzone. Give them a call at 419-394-2244. And before we take a break at that, you'll see on your screen, this is the Division II University of Findlay women's golf team, the national champions. And of course, Dominic Guarneri is on the right, and Jill Schmidtmeyer, I believe,
yep, all the way to the left,
is holding the trophy.
Oh, that's so neat. I didn't know that we were going to have the whole team out here.
And I tell you what, Jill Schmidtmeyer, I believe, is back again next year, and he's also has the twins from, I believe, LCC.
Wow.
And they're sophomores, and they should have a pretty solid team again next year. So congratulations once again. And, of course, Dominic and Jill Schmidtmeyer will be our guests here at halftime. So we'll take a quick break. We'll listen to our big Roughrider replay. We'll come right back.
Meinerding will hold. Kill will attempt it. They line it up. Snap. Whoa. Kick. And it is good. The score, St. Mary's 7. Wow, Meinerding did a great job of getting it down. St. Mary's 7, Salina nothing, back in 60 seconds.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that edition of the Big Roughrider replay. While we were away, the Roughriders ran a first down play. They've got a penalty, Dave Weilbacher penalty on the field. It's going to be against the Rough Riders, so they're going to bring it back after a Colton Mabry run to the right.
Number 62 of the offense, 10 yards on the foul. Second out.
Well, that was our first attempt at letting everybody at home listen to the official make the call there, so hopefully that worked well.
Cody Wallace in with the play from offensive coordinator Kobe Fry. Lone setback in the setback is running back is Aiden Hinkle. Sullivan jukes to the right. He's got an open field. He needs a block or two. He'll pick up a Fowler TV first down, so a nice run by Braden Sullivan. I thought for sure he was going to kind of bounce it out to the outside and be long gone.
Yeah, just had to go a little bit too much horizontal to get behind Kenton's, some of their secondary there, but nice, smart run from Sullivan. Good vision, saw the cutback and took it.
So it's a Fowler TV first down. Rough Riders will have a new set of downs. Ball is placed at their own 35-yard line. Wing to the left for the Rough Riders. Wallace will turn, give the ball to Hinkle. Hinkle will run and then turn around and back up for another couple of yards, and we'll call it second down and 4 after a gain of 6 by Hinkle. Carter Steinberg checks in for the Rough Riders. Cody Wallace checking in with the play from the sideline. Steinberg will go wide to the left. Two running backs in the backfield. Hinkle will jump over one, and he'll get a couple. Keep in mind he needs 112 yards in tonight's contest to go over that 1,000-yard mark for the season.
Sitting right now at 74 yards on 9 carries.
Full house in the backfield for the Rough Riders. Wallace will give the ball to Hinkle. Hinkle will give him a Fowler TV first down. We'll give him a gain of 7 on the play. It'll be another first down for St. Mary's.
Carter Heidinger. Dead ball. Sideline warning. Kenton.
Sideline warning for the Kenton Wildcats. That's their first of the ball game.
Yeah, Kenton's head coach was right in the ear of the line judge on that side. He thought that there should have been a false start on St. Mary's. He ran out onto the field to tell him, and that's when he got the sideline warning. Thought for a second it might be sportsmanlike conduct. There we go.
Okay, well, the Rough Riders are backing up, and Kenton decides to back up. So this is against the Kenton bench again.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike. Head coach of Kenton.
It was up in the air. He tossed that one about 20 feet up in the air, that flag. So the Rough Riders, aided by a couple of Kenton penalties, have got the football at the Kenton 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Rough Riders. Cody Wallace is going to turn and keep it. And we'll give him a gain of about 2 on the play.
Either through the snap or just him turning around. I think he just was a little late and was not able to make the handoff on that. Turned out not to be a horrible. He got a couple yards out of it, but that was definitely a broken play, not meant to be.
Wing to the left, give the ball to Sullivan. Sullivan spins, breaks away, and he'll get another Fowler TV first down. Good run by Braden Sullivan. Going back to the, as you see it on the instant replay, the Cody Wallace run, the previous play. Normally your quarterback, if a busted play happens, it's just it's instinct to go to the hole that was called, where the play was originally intended to go. So you're just going to follow the blockers where they're originally going to go.
Right, yeah. And they practice that, and he's done a good job this year of doing that. Unfortunately, it's just happened way too much this year.
Yeah. Sullivan on the carry for the Rough Riders.
You notice all of the St. Mary's running backs are hurtling through the line.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good indication that the Kenton Wildcats, like you said earlier, Zach, is just diving at the feet of the offensive lineman.
Yep. They always have, though, Joe. I mean, that's the only good thing is that you know to practice for it. As a center, it was like, okay, I'm just going to have a guy that's just diving at my feet every time.
So really, if you're an offensive lineman, just lay on him.
Yeah, you try to get him out of the hole as much as possible sometimes, but.
Wallace is going to throw the football. Now he pulls it and run. He's got blockers out in front. He's inside the 10, and he's run out of bounds. Be another Fowler TV first down. While we got this opportunity, the Auglaize County Historical Society is doing a photo contest, and it's today, Friday, is the 24 Hours in Auglaize County is what it's called. So you're to take a picture in whatever corner of the county you are. Take pictures of people at work, at a sporting event, at school, at play, going about their daily business. But here's the ticker. You have from now until 11:59 tonight to submit that photo to the Auglaize County 1848 at gmail.com. So we were given that to pass along. Rough Riders, touchdown! Keegan Sharp on the carry. There you'll see it on the instant replay. Just a nice little sweep to the right, squares his shoulders, runs over a defender, and puts it in the end zone.
Nice view there with the Albert Sporting Goods pylon.
No doubt. We have got to get Alberts to buy a pylon cam.
I'm sure Rich is working on that.
I'm sure he will be. Logan Rush in to do the kicking for the point after. Rough Riders lead it on the Family Audiology scoreboard, 34-0. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 7:25 remaining here in the first half, it's the St. Mary's Rough Riders 35, the Kenton Wildcats nothing. We'll be back with the Rough Rider kickoff right after this.
Head to Varsity Lanes for the pregame or postgame party, dinner, beverages, and bowling with the best prices in town. Varsity Lanes also specializes in birthday parties or office and corporate parties of all sizes. Varsity Lanes is the home of 2 boys and 2 girls state championship titles. Eat, drink, and bowl where the state winners are built. Proud supporters of Rough Rider Athletics, Varsity Lanes.
He's got a few more games left, though.
Back at Grand Lake Health Systems Field, where the Rough Riders have put 35 points on the scoreboard here in the first half. We still have 7:25 remaining in the first half. This Rough Rider kickoff is being brought to you by Laura Yelton, State Farm Insurance. Be a legend, insure your life. Stop by and see Laura or Logan Yelton in St. Mary's, your State Farm Insurance agents. Stop by and have a chat with them next week during normal business hours.
For those wondering, the running clock does not start in the first half unless the Kenton coach asks for it to.
Right, but I don't see that happening.
No.
Logan Rush, and the ball is on the turf. The up man fumbled the football, and then he was able to recover it, but Rough Riders was right there and had an opportunity to maybe pounce on it as well, so it's missed, and that's number 10. It
was 18.
18.
Alex Rogel.
Freshman.
Yeah, it was nearly a disaster for Kenton. Ooh.
Corbin Johnston's back in the ball game at quarterback for the Kenton Wildcats.
Nearly threw another pick.
3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left for the Kenton Wildcats. Rough Riders look like they're on a blitz. Here they come. Pass is thrown behind number 9, Colby Howard. You know, it's hard to believe, Zach, that this is week number 7. Next week, Rider Nation Station will be on the road. We'll be at Elida as they take on the Wapak Redskins tonight. And the following week, we'll be on the road at Bath. And then we'll finish up the regular season here at home with the Salina Bulldogs. Pass was almost picked off. It was bobbled and then almost picked off by Mabry, who leveled the receiver.
Yeah,
Ball's up in the air, and Tristan Gardner almost had a shot at it. So it'll be 4th and 10. And in to do the punting is Tyson Lawrence. He doesn't get the ball up very high, so the Rough Riders may be able to get a hand up and bat it down.
Oh, came after it.
Get away from it. Nope, Sullivan's going to pick it up. And he makes a move. And he is brought down. Well, I'll tell you what, Coach Fry probably is pulling his hair out when he sees him run after it.
Yeah. Looking at the Larry Schaff Auto Sales replay there. St. Mary's came after that one looking for a block.
Makes 2 tacklers, 3 tacklers miss, and then is finally brought down. The ball will be placed at the Kenton Wildcat 43-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Rough Riders. We'll see if they can tack another 7 on the board before halftime. Aiden Hinkle got a couple of tackles to beat. Bust through to the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Aiden Hinkle.
That should do it, Joe. That was from the 40-yard line.
So that should give Hinkle, that's his 3rd touchdown of the night.
Joe, that's 11 rushes for 124 yards and 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns. And so he has 14 on the season as far as touchdowns and went over the 1,000-yard mark for the season. Entering tonight's game, he had 788 and 11 touchdowns, and 3 touchdowns. He's got 14 and over 1,000 yards. So what a season. And there's still 3 more games to go. Logan Rush, point after is good, so with 6:49 remaining here in the first half, it's the St. Mary's Rough Riders 42, the Kenton Wildcats nothing. Back with the Rough Rider kickoff right after this.
Do you find yourself faced with injustice or confronted with a legal matter that you need help resolving? If so, call attorney David Walbacher at 216-225-9181. That's attorney David Walbacher for all your legal needs.
Back at Grand Lake Health Systems Field, Joe Hurlbert alongside Zach Farrell. Rough Riders lead on the Family Audiology scoreboard, 42-0.
So far, just a perfectly played game by St. Mary's and a lot of mistakes made by Kenton. We certainly saw flashes of Kenton tonight that looked a little scary, a little Kenton of old, but even when they get a little bit of momentum, they make a mistake or a penalty in this first quarter and a half. And every penalty or mistake that Kenton has made, St. Mary's has capitalized on it.
Good point.
Absolute dominance offensively against the Kenton defensive line. I can only think of really one long 3rd down play, and we ran a counter for 15 yards on that 3rd down. So
this Rough Rider kickoff is being brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Stop by and see Laura and Logan Yelton. Be a legend, insure your life. Stop by their office in St. Mary's next week. Nice return by Colby Howard on the Logan Rush kickoff. It's a short kick. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Kenton Wildcats. Rough Riders lead. And if you just happen to be tuning in, your eyes are not playing tricks. It's 42-0, and we are still in the first half.
Another penalty there on that kick return, 5 yards.
Corbin Johnston, the quarterback. Tim Wilkerson will be beside him. Kenton will send 3 receivers to the left, none to the right. Pass knocked down by Keegan Sharp.
Wow. Keegan Sharp goes up over the top. Wow.
It's like a block in basketball. It just
Yeah.
goes up and swats it down.
Wow. What an athletic play from Keegan Sharp.
That'll make the American Legion Post 323 video highlight show. Tomorrow, you can see that. Johnston back. He's being flushed out of the pocket. He's going to throw one sidearm across the middle. Pass is complete to Lawrence. And he'll pick up a first down. They'll place the ball at the Kenton 49-yard line and move the chains for Kenton. How many first downs is that for Kenton? Like 5?
Let's see here. Yep, 5 for Kenton.
Pass is complete to number 12. That's Grady Clayman Beasley.
5 first down for 99 yards. St. Mary's sits at 17 first downs for 315 yards.
We'll give him a gain of 4 on the play. We'll call it 2nd and 6. The ball's in Roughrider territory at the 47-yard line. Johnston, pass was intended for Lawrence. Incomplete, so it'll be 3rd down and 6.
I thought it was almost a screen setup the way that the defensive line came through the offensive line, but doesn't look like it was. They delivered a nice hit on Johnston there in the backfield.
3rd down, and we'll call it 6 for the Kenton Wildcats. Corbin Johnston goes back. This is a set, and Riders got him. Good job there by the Rough Rider defense. First to get to him was Jamal Kessler, and finishing him off was Caden Sharp.
Caden Sharp did a nice.
No, it's the other way around. Jamal Kessler was the first to get to him. Jamal Kessler finished it off.
Caden Sharp, first one to get to him.
Didn't I just say that again, or did I mess that up again?
You said Jamal Kessler twice that time.
I did.
Third time's the charm, Joe.
I'm not even going there.
Hey, 42-0. You know.
Lawrence with the kick. It's a better kick. It'll go to Keegan Sharp. Oh, he's got room to the sideline. He has no blockers, but he's doing what he can, and good job. Nice return by Keegan Sharp. Rough Riders will have the football. It'll be 1st and 10. The ball is placed at their own 47-yard line.
It's like number 87, Keaton Fishball, rotating in there for St. Mary's.
Dominic Osborne is in the ball game for the Rough Riders. We've got a timeout on the field. So on the Family Audiology scoreboard with 4:58 remaining, it's the Rough Riders 42, the Wildcats nothing. Back right after this.
Albert Sporting Goods is here to outfit your team, both on and off the field. Since 1980, Albert Sporting Goods has serviced schools, clubs, and businesses throughout Ohio. For all of your uniform, spirit wear, and equipment needs, make it Albert Sporting Goods. Order online now at albertsportinggoods.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Rough Riders have the football. Inside a handoff to Dominic Osborne. We'll get him a gain of about 4 on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and 6. And we'll call it 2nd down and 7. So we'll give him a gain of 3. Cody Wallets trots back into the huddle after getting his play from offensive coordinator Kobe Fry. Turn, give the ball to Mabry. Mabry gets a Fowler TV first down, and I'm going to be honest with you, we'll check it out on the replay, but if he heads to the outside, he's got clear sailing to the end zone.
Yeah, that's that vision.
He goes right there behind that block. He's to the outside, and he's clear sailing to the end zone.
That's that vision that we see sometimes, the difference between a sophomore and a senior.
Yep, absolutely.
He keeps his head up, and he watches film on that, and he runs it a few times. He'll start learning that he needs to bounce that to the outside once he gets through that hole.
Sullivan wing right. Give the ball. Wallace is going to roll to his left. Got a flag on the play. He's going to throw the football, and nice catch by Sullivan. We got a Dave Weilbacher penalty flag on the play. We'll see what's going to happen. It looks like the Rough Riders are moving back.
A couple guys laying on the ground, probably a holding call.
We'll hear the official.
Shot clock. Number 77 of the offense. 15-yard penalty.
It'll still be first down for the Rough Riders, but they got a long way to go to make this one up. And the way things are going for the offense, it's not insurmountable for them to pick up a first down, but
nope.
We'll consider this a challenge for the offense, see if they can get the first down. 1st and 25 for the Rough Riders. The ball is placed at their own 43-yard line. Counter back. Big hole for Dominic Osborne. I think Osborne's just a what? Freshman? Sophomore?
Sophomore.
Sophomore?
5'8", 175-pound sophomore. Saw him get a lot of playing time last week and starting to get some touches here in the end of the second quarter.
Give him a gain of 10. We'll call it 2nd and 15. Hinkle up the middle. He's got one man to beat. He jumps over him, but this time the guy grabbed him, tackler grabbed him by the ankle and brought him down, or he'd be standing in the end zone again. So we'll call it 3rd down, and we'll call it 2 for the Rough Riders. I haven't seen Kenton stop St. Mary's for a no
loss.
gain,
Yeah.
But if they would happen, I think this is still 4-down territory.
Yeah, or maybe Coach wants to try his field goal team out with a 42-point lead.
Pitched Hinkle, and he's going to have the Fowler TV first down as they'll mark the football at the 30-yard line. So they did overcome the 1st and 25. Dom. So we'll call it 1st and 10 for the Rough Riders. Oh, Tom better. Ball is placed at the St. Mary's 31-yard line. 2:02 remaining here in the first half. Keegan Sharp bounces to the outside. We got a Dave Weilbacher penalty. He skips and misses skips a would-be tackler and goes out of bounds, but we'll see who the penalty's on.
Watch here on the play, see if we can see it. It might be a holding on number 10. I didn't see anything that egregious. They're pulling them back.
So it'll be hold against the Rough Riders. They'll bring it back. We'll see what.
10-yard penalty. Final foul. First down.
Called on 27, Dominic Osborne. I think he came from the wingback position.
So we'll call it 1st and 19 for the Rough Riders. We're under 2 minutes at 1:50 remaining. Sharp bounces to the outside, lowers his shoulder, and he'll get across the 35-yard line. So we'll give him a gain of 5 on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and 13 for St. Mary's.
Joe, we got people watching from St. Mary's and, of course, all over the world. We got John Dysert, 1990 state champ, watching from Johnstown, Pennsylvania.
Here comes the reverse. And it's Sullivan. That was an actual true double reverse.
Haven't seen that one run in
all
a
year.
few years.
All year.
I think it's a few years.
You're right. Sharp gives the ball to, you can tell because Leclerc, he flattens him on the block, but he had, really, in all honesty, had no clue where he was headed.
No.
So we've got a timeout on the fields with 1:06 remaining on the Family Audiology scoreboard. Rough Riders lead 42-zip. We'll be back right after this.
St. Mary's Legion Post 323, veterans working for veterans and the future of our country. The St. Mary's Legion Post 323 supports veterans programs such as Gifts for Yanks, Support the Troops, Comfort Warriors, Blood Donor, POW MIA programs, as well as children and youth programs. The St. Mary's Legion Post 323 also donates thousands of dollars each year to local summer programs such as Boys State, Girls State, Scholarships in Education, Boy Scouts, Oratorical, and Shooting Sports. St. Mary's Legion Post 323, remembering the past, living the present, and working for the future.
Well, welcome back to Grand Lake Health Systems Field, where St. Mary's leads the Kenton Wildcats 42-0. Got 3rd down and going deep. Cody Wallace looking for Braden Sullivan in the corner of the end zone. Overflows his receiver. That brings up a 4th down here from the 31-yard line. And it looks like St. Mary's is going to go for it, Joe.
Took a break. We talked to our guests as they filter into the press box area. Of course, Tom Petter will talk with between the 3rd and 4th quarter. Dominic Guarneri and Jill Schmidtmeyer will be our halftime guests. But nonetheless, 4th and 10 for the Rough Riders. We'll see if they can overcome this. Cody Wallace is going to throw the football. They're going to throw it back to Keegan Sharp. He's got it. It'll be a 1st down, makes a move. Touchdown, Rough Riders. Well, we've talked about that a couple of times throughout the course of the season, that the throwback is there. This is a perfect example of that, although there was a Kenton defender out there.
Yeah, I got a little scared for a second.
Did. Perfect pass, perfect catch, perfect move by Sharp. Watch him make the catch. Oh, and he throws it right on the mark, and then he makes a move and takes it into the end zone. So the Rough Riders have got 48 points. They're looking for 49 with the point after by Logan Rush. Kick is up, and the kick is, he hit the upright, so it's no good. So with 50 seconds remaining, it's 48-0 Rough Riders lead on the Family Audiology scoreboard. We'll take a break. We'll come right back with the Rough Rider kickoff right after this.
Auglaize Equipment Rental is your source for all your equipment needs. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner with a project, we can help get the job done more efficiently. Check us out at 1900 Salina Road or auglaizeequipmentrental.com or just call 419-394-7883. Auglaize Equipment Rental.
Buffalo Wild Wings in St. Mary's is proud to support Rough Rider athletics and the Memorial Student Athletes. Join Buffalo Wild Wings for each Rough Rider football game streamed on Rider Nation Station. Buffalo Wild Wings, the greatest of all times.
All righty, the Rough Rider kickoff is being brought to you once again by Laura Yelton State Farm Insurance. Be a legend, insure your life. Stop by and see Laura, Logan, Yelton, your State Farm agents in St. Mary's next week. Now, I told Logan when he gave me Jake from State Farm, I said, that's what they should have put on there. Insure your life. Be a legend.
Yeah. Not staying on brand, are they?
No, they're not. So Logan Rush will attempt the kickoff.
His legs got to be tired, Joe. This is eighth kickoff.
How many yards of total offense do the Rough Riders have?
Joe, right now, St. Mary's is sitting with 20 first downs on 392 total yards offense.
Wow.
Kenton has 5 first downs on 96 yards.
That's unbelievable. And the Jill brought the national championship trophy, too.
I saw that. I might have to
get a picture of it with her.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Touch it. That's most all. I'm not close to any athletic trophies, Joe, so let alone a national championship.
Oh, yeah. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Kenton Wildcats. The ball is placed at their own 30-yard line. 40 ticks remaining here in the first half. 3 receivers to the right for the Wildcats. Passes up in the air, and it's intercepted. The Rough Riders have an interception by
I think it's Felver. Caleb Felver.
Caleb Felver picks it off, and the Rough Riders get another takeaway. And I can pretty much guarantee you they're not going to sit on it. They're going to go for it. They're going to try to put as many points on the scoreboard as they possibly can. If they do take a knee, I'll be surprised. Caleb Felver picks it off, and Kevin Perry levels. I'll tell you what, these games can be fun.
Yeah.
Especially when things are going well. Cody Wallace is going to the air with this one again. He's got a man downfield, and it is caught. Sharp pulls it down, I believe. No, that's not Sharp. It's Sullivan. But we'll take a look at the Dave Weilbacher penalty flag on the play. We'll see what happens.
I'm not sure who they...
Looks like the Rough Riders are coming back. We'll listen to the official, see what he has to say.
Illegal motion. Offense. 5 yards in the previous spot. First down.
Illegal motion by the Rough Riders. They'll bring the football back. 26 seconds remaining.
I think Sharp went out as a wideout and was still moving when the ball was snapped. I'm not sure who he was throwing it to. Both the receivers were there. Pretty open, though.
Wallace drops straight back, looks, launches it down the field, and a pass is intended for Carter Steinberg. Falls incomplete with 12 seconds remaining.
Yeah, nothing too tricky about that. Just looked like 4 verticals, and throw it to the one that only has one guy on them.
There you go.
Nice blitz from Kenton, though. Had somebody in his face right now.
Wallace, we got stoppage of play. I'm looking at Keegan Sharp out on the wide to the right side of the field. He never moved. They're going to reset the game clock. Wallace rolls to the right. They're going to screen it back, and he throws it out of bounds. There's still time on the clock. I'll tell you what I would do, and I think what's happening is I could not do that down there, the game clock or the scoreboard, because you know what I would do? I would watch the game.
Yeah.
I would have a tendency to focus on the game, and the next thing you know, my responsibilities would go right out the window.
It's really tough when the teams start going no huddle as well.
It'll bring up 3rd and 14 for the Rough Riders. 6 seconds remaining on the clock. Hinkle, the lone setback for the Rough Riders. Turn, give the ball on the counter, give it to Sullivan. And that should run out the clock. So that's the end of the first half. And on the Family Audiology scoreboard, it's the St. Mary's Rough Riders 48, the Kenton Wildcats nothing. Back with our halftime guest with Zach, Dominic Guarneri, and Jill Schmidtmeyer. We'll do that when halftime continues on our Heuer Renovating halftime show right after this.
St. Mary's Eagles 767 is dedicated to promoting the general welfare of the citizens of St. Mary's by giving special attention to public improvements. They are also committed to helping meet the public needs and all that relates to the betterment, convenience, and comforts of the citizens of St. Mary's.
Fellowship of Christian Athletes is a middle school and high school club looking to spread God's love throughout numerous schools and communities of our local area. FCA's favorite play of the game is both teams joining together in prayer at the conclusion of the game. God bless you, sports fans.
Hello, I'm Dr. Ellen Hunter, owner of Family Audiology Associates with offices in Salina and St. Mary's. I am a St. Mary's Memorial graduate and a proud supporter of our Auglaize and Mercer County community. Since 2004, my staff and I have tested and treated the hearing imbalance of many of our infants, children, adults, and elderly in our community, and we would be proud for you or your loved one to be one of our next patients. Call Family Audiology Associates today, your hometown hearing experts, and go Riders!
St. Mary's Eagles 767 is dedicated to promoting the general welfare of the citizens of St. Mary's by giving special attention to public improvements. They are also committed to helping meet the public needs and all that relates to the betterment, convenience, and comforts of the citizens of St. Mary's. For more information on how you can become a member, call 419-394-3257 or stop in during business hours at 404 East Spring Street in St. Mary's. St. Mary's Eagles, 767. People helping people.
Hello, I'm Dr. Robert Spees. Welcome to Spees Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
As a family practice, Spees Chiropractic welcomes in patients of all ages. Whether this is your first time or you've done this before, Dr. Spees and his compassionate staff are here for you. What makes Spees Chiropractic unique is their three-tier approach. By using chiropractic care alongside massage therapy and physical therapy, all your healthcare needs will be treated compassionately and comprehensively. Spees Chiropractic. Make the right choice for your care.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Hewer Renovating halftime show. Hewer Renovating, your residential specialist. Call 419-394-8643 for all your home renovation needs. As we can see, this is a very special halftime show than what we normally do. I'm joined today with the latest, greatest alumni, 2022 Alumni Hall of Famer, Dominic Guarneri. Dom is the NCAA Division II National Championship coach and also the NCAA Division II Jackie Steinman Women's Golf Coaches Association National Coach of the Year. You're joined by St. Mary's alumni Jill Schmidtmeyer. She was a senior on your team this year, and so she's champion as well. We've got the trophy tonight. I saw the rest of your team on the field. What's this night been like, guys?
It's been an awesome experience, obviously, to get inducted into the Hall of Fame and then pair that with recognizing the women's team for the national championship. It's been really special.
Dom, I was thinking while you were on the field down there, I always think when I hear you and see your name about your dad, and being up here in the press box, it was something that I looked up to him when I was a youngster out there. What did your dad and St. Mary's in general mean to you when you went on post high school?
Yeah, so I mean, he started me in the game of golf, and golf has brought me so much joy, happiness, success, and just, teaching me how to, obviously playing golf at St. Mary's and being from St. Mary's, obviously, him being the voice of the Roughriders football for over 20 years and things like that, just meant so much to me. And again, I wouldn't be where I am today without him, and I know he's looking down right now, so it's been really, really special.
And we're here in the Big Ralph Guarneri press box, and I just think it's so neat that we're still able to honor him. We've got put him on the bus out on the stadium. It's so neat. I still sometimes when I'm getting ready for the game, I'll put on his highlights and still listen to it. And of course, his last season was my senior year, and it's just unforgettable. Thank you for sharing those memories. Wanted to talk a little bit about your season, and we've got Jill here. as I recall from Facebook and seeing you guys through the year, you had lost a couple matches in the fall, and what that means in the collegiate golf world is you got to do really good in the spring to have a chance to get in there, and I believe you went undefeated. Maybe talk about your season a little bit.
Yeah, so the fall we didn't honestly play up to what we had thought, and then we came out in the spring. We got a new indoor facility January 10th. The girls really worked hard all January, February, and then in the spring we played 8 events. We won all 8. We had 7 individual champions, and it was just something clicked over the winter. They came together. They worked hard, and we preach all year long. As long as we get better every single day, then that's going to prepare us for being our best in April and May, and that's what we try to do every single year. And obviously last spring it was just a culmination of all their hard work.
Jill, when you were thinking about where you wanted to go play golf, I mean, you were talked about here in St. Mary's throughout your high school career. What made you decide on Findlay, and how much of an advantage did Dom have being a St. Mary's alumni?
I don't want to get his head too big, but probably a pretty big amount. I think it was more about the culture that he's built within the team. It's nothing that I found at any other university that I visited. And obviously some family ties with my brother going there. From a young age, I kind of grew up there, I guess you could say. And so through visiting other schools and everything, there was just no comparison, and it was a no-brainer for me, really.
Jill, I'm just curious, what do your teammates think about St. Mary's football and fireballs and all that?
Oh, they were big fans. I think we could get them to come back for sure.
Awesome. I'm always amazed, like when we bring somebody from out of town. I don't think they realize quite how big a high school football game can be around here. So
yeah, that was interesting. Walking up, especially, we saw the senior banners on the fence, and they said, "Wait a second, how big's your school again?" And I said, "Yeah, football is a pretty big deal, so we have a lot of people, but
nothing like a 8,000 person town and D4 and the kind of production that we put on. I mean, look at right here.
Yeah.
We're standing in front of live television. So
exactly.
Maybe Jill, you could talk a little bit about your season and playing in the championship. What was it like traveling, I guess, for college golf?
Yeah, so obviously it takes a lot of time management with balancing school and everything, but I think that, like Coach said after the fall, we didn't start the way that we knew we could, and so going into the winter we knew we had a lot of work, but we were just patient and did things the right way, like we always talk about, and made sure that we put in the hard work that we knew would pay off in the end. And I think coming down to crunch time in the first part of the national championship, we didn't play up to our potential still. And we had to rally at the end to get into the finals, the medal match play portion. And so I think from there, that gave us a lot of momentum and trust in each other to know that we made it to that point. And that week up until that point, we hadn't played our best golf yet, so we knew that was ahead of us, and I think we had a lot of confidence going in.
I'm not a great golfer by any means, but when you talk about the work that you had to put in, is that fundamental skill based in the trainer and inside, or is that just getting out and playing as many rounds as you can?
So it's a little different for everybody. Everybody has something small that they can work on. If you had a bad putting week, you might need to adjust a couple things, or a lot of it is golf course management and the mental side of things too, which is something that we talked about a lot this year. And so some of that stuff isn't necessarily going out and just hitting balls for an hour. That's taking a step back, looking at the golf course itself, managing it better, and working on your mental skills more than anything.
Dom's still living through this year and celebrating this year, but what are you thinking about in this upcoming year? I assume you've probably started – have you started a match yet for the fall? Okay. What's the team looking like this year, and what are you trying to bring for the future of this program?
Yeah, so we have 4 of our 5 back from the national championship team that was there. And, Jill she's in her last year right now, so we're excited about her getting a 5th year due to COVID. Our expectations don't really change, but, I did tell the girls at the beginning of the year, I said, obviously it's really hard to win a national championship. I said, we can be a better team and have a better year, and we might not win. Mm-hmm. And we don't really have a goal of winning a national championship. It's more like a destination we want to get to. We only, like I said, we focus on one thing the entire year. That's getting better and closer as a team every day. And if we do that, then we feel like, at the end of the season we're going to be right there again. And we're off to a good start in the fall. We got one win under our belts, which was better than we were last fall.
Yeah.
So, they're working hard. They're getting after it. And we have our home event this Monday and Tuesday, so we're excited about that.
And that's in Findlay, so if any St. Mary's natives out there want to come up and check out Findlay Golf, I assume, is it open to the public then?
Oh, yeah. It's Monday, Tuesday, and we have a really unique experience with our event. We actually stream it online, so they can get on our website and they can click on a link and they can watch Jill hit a shot if they can't get up there or whatever. So it's not a thing that they do for a lot of college golf events, but we get the chance to do that. So
that's very neat. I think we'll end it, Dom, with you just maybe talking about your time at St. Mary's High School, what it has meant to you maybe, and sort of your how you have now become, your thoughts on becoming the latest alumni Hall of Famer.
Yeah, so obviously I loved every minute that I was at St. Mary's on the golf team. I learned an awful lot about coaching from my two coaches, Denny Vogel and Jerry Bergman. I was able to be a part of a WBL championship team, and I always tell high school kids I'm recruiting, you never get your high school years back. So I always stress to them, playing multiple sports and, doing different things like that to make yourself better. And I wouldn't give up my experience here for anything. And like I said, I'm just humbled and honored to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And it's just been a really special night.
Well, I want to thank my guests, Dominic Guarneri and Jill Schmidtmeyer, for being here. We're going to pull the trophy out here so we can get a nice view of it. And we're gonna go to a quick break. We're gonna come back with some of the stats from the first half. Thanks for joining me in the Hewlett Renovating Halftime Show.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you for having us.
Unique Awards and Signs, here to take care of your signage, graphic award, and gift customization needs. From banners for your graduate or corporate sponsors to awards recognizing those dedicated employees or champion sport teams. Stop in at 1865 Salina Road or call us at 419-394-1612.
VFW 9289's mission is to honor all veterans, past, present, and future. Come on out on Football Friday nights to watch the live stream of Roughrider football. VFW 9289, a proud sponsor of Rider Nation Station.
Head to Varsity Lanes for the pregame or postgame party, dinner, beverages, and bowling with the best prices in town. Varsity Lanes also specializes in birthday parties or office and corporate parties of all sizes. Varsity Lanes is the home of 2 boys and 2 girls state championship titles. Eat, drink, and bowl where the state winners are built. Proud supporters of Roughrider Athletics, Varsity Lanes.
Do you find yourself faced with injustice or confronted with a legal matter that you need help resolving? If so, call attorney David Walbacher at 216-225-9181. That's attorney David Walbacher for all your legal needs.
Albert Sporting Goods is here to outfit your team, both on and off the field. Since 1980, Albert Sporting Goods has serviced schools, clubs, and businesses throughout Ohio. For all of your uniform, spirit wear, and equipment needs, make it Albert Sporting Goods. Order online now at albertsportinggoods.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
St. Mary's Legion Post 323, veterans working for veterans and the future of our country. The St. Mary's Legion Post 323 supports veterans programs such as Gifts for Yanks, Support the Troops, Comfort Warriors, Blood Donor, POW MIA programs, as well as children and youth programs. The St. Mary's Legion Post 323 also donates thousands of dollars each year to local summer programs such as Boys State, Girls State, Scholarships in Education, Boy Scouts, Oratorical, and Shooting Sports. St. Mary's Legion Post 323, remembering the past, living the present, and working for the future.
Auglaize Equipment Rental is your source for all your equipment needs. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner with a project, we can help get the job done more efficiently. Check us out at 1900 Salina Road or auglaizeequipmentrental.com or just call 419-394-7883. Auglaize Equipment Rental.
Buffalo Wild Wings in St. Mary's is proud to support Roughrider Athletics and the Memorial Student Athletes. Join Buffalo Wild Wings for each Roughrider football game streamed on Rider Nation Station. Buffalo Wild Wings, the greatest of all times.
St. Mary's Eagles 767 is dedicated to promoting the general welfare of the citizens of St. Mary's by giving special attention to public improvements. They are also committed to helping meet the public needs and all that relates to the betterment, convenience, and comforts of the citizens of St. Mary's. For more information on how you can become a member, call 419-394-3257 or stop in during business hours at 404 East Spring Street in St. Mary's. St. Mary's Eagles, 767. People helping people.
Fellowship of Christian Athletes is a middle school and high school club looking to spread God's love throughout numerous schools and communities of our local area. FCA's favorite play of the game is both teams joining together in prayer at the conclusion of the game. God bless you, sports fans.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Hewer Renovating Halftime Show. Hewer Renovating, your residential specialist. Call 419-394-8643 for all your home renovation needs. I want to thank again Dominic Guarneri and Jill Schmidtmeyer joining us here just a few minutes ago. Really neat to hear alumni come back and talk about their time in St. Mary's and see what kind of amazing accomplishments that they're doing out there in the rest of the world. They've got the entire Division II National Championship golf women's golf team here with them, and they are enjoying their time as they've seen a lot of fireballs in the first half because St. Mary's is up 48-0 on Kenton. Looking a little bit at the stats, we have for St. Mary's 20 first downs for 399 yards. St. Mary's is 2 for 6 passing with 2 touchdowns, 95 total passing yards, 37 rushes for 304 yards on the ground, 5 penalties against St. Mary's for 46 yards. St. Mary's is 4 for 6 on third down conversions, and they've had a really nice average drive start at 46.3 yards. Time possession-wise, 15 minutes, 21 seconds for St. Mary's. Looking over at Kenton, just 5 first downs, 96 total yards. Kenton is 8 for 20 passing with 2 interceptions. They've got 86 total net passing yards, and they've rushed 7 times for 10 yards. Big stat for them is that they fumbled the ball 3 times, lost 2 of them, and of course those accompanying those 2 interceptions, that's 4 total turnovers for Kenton in the first half. Looking at penalties, definitely hurt Kenton as well. A couple of drives got stalled. A couple of St. Mary's' drives got extended. Kenton has 6 penalties for 47 yards. St. Mary's has not punted. Kenton has punted 4 times for 111 total yards. Their longest just 31, so that's an average of 27.8 yards per punt. They've had their average drive start on the 28.9 yard line, and the time of possession for Kenton, 8 minutes and 5 seconds. Looking a little individually, St. Mary's passing, 2 for 6, Cody Wallace for 95 yards, 64-yard long touchdown. Aiden Hinkle, 13 rushes for 140 yards and 3 touchdowns. And the big part about that stat is that puts Aiden Hinkle over 1,000 yards for the season with still at least 3 games ready to go, probably more. Braden Sullivan, 7 rushes for 58 yards. Colton Mabry, 7 rushes for 54 yards. Not too shabby in the first half for those 2 either. Looking at receiving, Keegan Sharp, 2 catches for 95 yards, 64-yard long touchdown. And for Kenton, mainly just 2 passers on their side. Corbin Johnston, saw him a little bit. He has 6 completions on 17 attempts for 48 yards. And Luke Leffler, 2 completions on 3 attempts for 38 yards. So, as the stats show, pretty much a dominance first half from St. Mary's. Teams are on the field warming up. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have the kickoff on the second half of the St. Mary's Kenton game on Hall of Fame night here at Grand Lake Health System Field, St. Mary's, Ohio. Thanks for joining us for the Hewer Renovating Halftime Show.
Hello, I'm Dr. Ellen Hunter, owner of Family Audiology Associates with offices in Salina and St. Mary's. I am a St. Mary's Memorial graduate and a proud supporter of our Auglaize and Mercer County community. Since 2004, my staff and I have tested and treated the hearing imbalance of many of our infants, children, adults, and elderly in our community, and we would be proud for you or your loved one to be one of our next patients. Call Family Audiology Associates today, your hometown hearing experts, and go Riders!
Here at TLC, we expanded our business, so we wanted the security of knowing exactly where all the kids are and what's going on in each of the rooms. We chose Fowler's because we've done all our televisions with them, and they mentioned they have security systems. So we just wanted to go out and look at it, and they were very upfront, and they do excellent work from start to finish. And so we chose Fowler's TV. It's been great for us here at TLC Learning Center, and Fowler's TV would be great for anyone.
All righty, we welcome you back once again to Grand Lake Health Systems Field. I'm Joe Hurlbert, and I want to thank Zach and Dominic and Jill Schmidtmeyer for bringing you the Hewer Renovating halftime show. And hope you learned a little bit about Dominic and Jill and the program, and what a great accomplishment.
Yeah, it's amazing. National championship in anything is hard, let alone golf, which I can't even muster up a par score, Joe.
You know, I may ask the coaches on 3rd and long if I remember next week, but the St. Mary's Roughriders, in my recollection, as far as Rough Rider football is concerned, has had one player drafted into the NFL and played. That'd be a great trivia question.
Maybe we should. Do you think you know who it is?
I know who it is.
Okay.
I know who it is. But I'm not going to tell you. But I'm not going to tell you.
It wasn't Dave Walbacher, right?
Because it was not Dave Walbacher.
All right.
He might have had a shot with the Cowboys at one point in time, but I think that
he could have joined pro wrestling, maybe.
There you go. Yeah, he could have joined the WWE for sure.
The Hitman, Dave Walbacher.
Well, I had an opportunity while you were talking to Jill and Dominic. I talked to our guest here in the second half, Tom Petter, another 2022 inductee into the Memorial High School Hall of Fame, and we're going to get him on air sometime here, maybe possibly in the third quarter, because obviously it's going to be a running clock, and we were going to have him in between the third and fourth quarter, but we could be done real quick here. So we'll put the third headset on, and we'll talk to Tom Petter here in the second half. So
we learned in rules of the game a couple weeks ago that the officials are required to have the 3-minute time period for the team, tacked on after the 20-minute halftime to give the teams time to warm up. St. Mary's did a shorter warm up than Kenton is doing. But we did figure that out, that we are not just.
Yes, it has to be put back on the clock.
Yep.
In the second half, but they don't. But the coach could say, we're not going to. We could start.
Right.
But it's up to the coaches to do that.
No, they have to do the 3 minutes.
They have to let it go down.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
They don't have to. They don't have to warm up.
Okay.
But they have to.
Go. You're right.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's basically like Mark indicated. It's for a liability issue.
They want to be able to say that you have the chance to warm up if you want to.
Right.
Yep. And we had a couple questions in our live stream about not showing the marching band.
Okay.
And we got to remind people that we, unfortunately, because of copyright and being a live broadcast on YouTube, cannot show the marching band with the sound. It will sometimes knock our stream off, and then it'll block us from being able to get back on.
Right.
So we try to show as much as we can. Try to show as much as we can here, but we have to keep the sound off of that. So apologize for that. But
well, we're going to get ready to get underway here in the second half. This Rough Rider kickoff return is being brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Be a legend, insure your life. Stop by and see Laura, Logan, or Kip Yelton.
There he is. Looking good, Kip.
Yes, and he's got his Laura Yelton State Farm Insurance shirt on, so stop by and see them next week. It's good to see him.
Already got a rowdy-looking Yelton look to him, doesn't he?
He sure does. So I think the kickoff went out of bounds, I believe. Let's listen to the official.
Free kick. Out of bounds. Ball in place 35-yard line. First down.
Yeah, St. Mary's is trying that pooch kick again where they hit it up pretty high, close to the sideline, and put some pressure.
So the football will give the Rough Riders, the ball will be placed at the 35-yard line of the Rough Riders. It'll be 1st and 10. And as we go through here, Zach, maybe we can kind of toss in some statistics.
I was able to hit them all, Joe.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Cool. Here comes Mabry. And obviously with a 48-point lead, the running clock will be implemented here in the second half, which means that on an incomplete pass, the clock will continue to run. If a player runs out of bounds, the clock will continue to run. I think the only time it does stop is the change of possession.
I think we'll see St. Mary's starters here for the first series. If they score, I think that we'll probably see backups after that.
Aiden Hinkle, well, I'll tell you what, he just is running hard. Of course, he went over the 1,000-yard mark in this ball game. He picks up another Fowler TV first down, so it'll be the Rough Rider ball at midfield, 1st and 10.
Yeah, that
good
puts
blocking up front.
Puts him at 151 yards, Joe. The thing is just not going to keep him in the game long
Well,
enough.
this would be ironic, as if he takes the ball here and goes 50 yards for a touchdown, that would get him over 200 yards, but they're going to give the ball to Dominic Osborne. He busts a tackle, and he'll pick up another Fowler TV first down as the Rough Riders continue to rack up big chunks of yardage. What are they averaging per play? Do you have that?
Let's see here.
It has to be big. It has to be over 10 yards a play.
Average gain per play, St. Mary's 9.2 yards.
Pretty close.
Kenton 3.6.
Wow.
Total 46 offensive plays for St. Mary's for 425 yards right now.
Obviously, their biggest offensive output. There's a Dave Weilbacher penalty flag on the field. It'll be offsides on Kenton, so it'll move the ball 5 yards closer to the goal line, and it'll be 1st and 5 for the Rough Riders. First and 5 for the Rough Riders. Cody Wallace will turn, give the ball to Hinkle. Hinkle bounces to the outside, still on his feet, still running hard. A big gain again by Aiden Hinkle. Another Fowler TV first down. Move the sticks. Clock continues to run. At the end of this next play, we'll bring you the Rough Rider trivia question, and tonight's Rough Rider trivia winner will receive a gift card for a 15-inch pizza from Guarneri's Pizzeria and Pub. Gift cards can be picked up at Laura Yelton State Farm Insurance during normal business hours. Sharp, the wide side of the field, gets the corner and is knocked out of bounds by Kenton. Here's our trivia question for tonight. What WBL quarterback has the most passing yards against the St. Mary's Rough Riders? What Western Buckeye League quarterback has the most passing yards against the St. Mary's Rough Riders? We'll have the answer to that, and you can in the comments section, type in who you think it might be. So once
and that's
again,
all time.
All time.
Not
all
this,
time.
Not
absolutely.
this season.
What WBL quarterback has the most passing yards against St. Mary's all time? So it'll be 2nd down and 2 for the Rough Riders. The ball is placed at the 16-yard line. Dive play, Braden Sullivan. And good running by Sullivan. It'll be another Fowler TV first down for the Rough Riders. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Rough Riders. Here comes Osborne and Mabry into the lineup.
That looked like a classic dive that we really haven't seen too much of this season, Joe. I know the coaches are gotten away from the traditional dive. They don't like how fast it hits. They're worried about fumbling. But against Kenton, you got to run it sometimes because it's a wide open hole out there.
Osborne on the carry, squares up, touchdown Roughriders. Nice run by Dominic Osborne. I believe that's his first touchdown of the season as the fireball explodes in the south end zone.
Welcome to the show, young man.
Absolutely. Good blocking up front. Let's give credit where credit is due. The folks up front, Xavier LeClaire, Trent Wyckoff, Caleb Miller, Greg Felver, Braden Saylor, and Eli Rickard. So the point after attempt will be coming by Logan Rush as the Roughriders have extended their lead 54-0 on the Family Audiology scoreboard. High snap, kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 7:21 remaining here in the third quarter, on the Family Audiology scoreboard, it's the St. Mary's Roughriders 55, the Kenton Wildcats nothing. Back right after this.
Guarneri's Pizzeria and Pub has partnered with Rider Nation Station this season so that every Friday night, Guarneri's can be Roughrider Central. Guarneri's will be streaming Roughrider football live every Friday night at 7, paired with your favorite Rider aid. Call Guarneri's during or after the game to place your pickup order for pizza, wings, or hoagies at 419-394-2244. Remember, Guarneri's, home of the signature Big Ralph.
All righty, we welcome you back to Grand Lake Health Systems Field. Joe Hurlbert, Zach Farrell, Riders lead on the Family Audiology scoreboard, 55-0, and we are joined by 2022 Memorial Hall of Fame inductee Tom Petter. Tom, good to see you.
Hi, Joe. Thank you. It's great to see you.
And congratulations on your induction.
Really appreciate that. It was a really beautiful, lovely event today, this afternoon, that the Alumni Foundation put on, and I'm very, very honored and humbled to be a member of this prestigious Hall of Fame. Thank you.
This Roughrider kickoff is being brought to you by Laura Yelton State Farm Insurance. Be a legend, insure your life. Stop by and see Laura or Logan Yelton, your State Farm agents in St. Mary's, next week. This kickoff is being kicked by Schaefer, and it's a short kick. And I think it's Williamson on the return. So we'll keep an eye on the play on the field.
Certainly.
And we'll talk to Tom throughout the halftime. First of all, a lot of things to take place. I think what we want to focus on, Tom, is your time spent at Memorial High School. I mean, you've done a lot of great things, obviously, and that's what you're being inducted for, all the things that you've accumulated and throughout the course of your lifetime. But your time at St. Mary's, you played basketball here.
Yes.
You played baseball here. Some of the memories that you have walking the halls as a student athlete.
Well, as a student athlete, the great break I got in high school was Larry Sabeck wanted me to come up and play on the varsity as a freshman. And that was a big step for me, but it was playing on Memorial Field. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, behind the
high school.
Oh, yeah.
And he wanted me for outfield speed. That's one of the things he wanted to improve on the team, and maybe to hit and steal bases, which I was good at.
Right.
But I had to learn to navigate that outfield with the poles.
Yep, absolutely.
And it was the winter of '78 that we were playing after, so it was soggy, snow piles. That was after your time.
Right.
But it was really an amazing season. It's one of the greatest experiences of my life was playing on that Western Buckeye League championship team in '78.
Absolutely. So the Kenton Wildcats just completed the pass, and it went to Wilkinson, and it'll bring up third down, and we'll call it about 6 for the Kenton Wildcats. Clock continues to run. 5:32 remaining in the third quarter. Of course, running clock is implemented. Not only did you play baseball, but you also played basketball as well, and from that, you were able to go on and play basketball at Heidelberg College at that time.
Yes, and I have to say something about my life growing up in St. Mary's was I was inspired by all the great basketball players like you and others that I aspired to follow. And it led to that 1980-81 magical season. It was probably the most exciting 11-10 season of any Rough Rider year, winning a Western Buckeye League title. Winning a Western Buckeye League title.
We do have a timeout, but we're going to keep it right here. And so, but yeah, that was. And basketball back in those days, wasn't the swan song. The football program always was, but basketball struggled. But eventually, were you on the team that upset Delphos St. John?
No, that was the 76 team.
76
with can I name all the great
absolutely,
players on that team? Well,
Louis Dietz?
Of course, Louis Dietz and Steve. No, Louis Dietz wasn't on it. It was Steve Dietz.
Oh, okay.
And Willie Gillis and Jeff Sisko.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Bloomhorst, Jeff Heaston, Scott Fannin. And Scott Fannin, of course, in the game where they upset the #1 Delphos St. John team in the district tournament, he made 4 straight baseline jumpers in that game. I was at the game at Ohio Northern, and it was magical to watch the Riders beat that team. It was one of the great upsets of all time in Ohio State basketball history, really.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Magical. I think the defense just stepped up here and forced their 4th down.
After you graduated from Memorial High School, you went on to play at basketball and baseball at Heidelberg College. And
that's right.
You had some great seasons there, basketball-wise. You got inducted into the Hall of Fame there as well.
Yeah, the team I played on in '83-'84 had the most wins in school history, and that team made it to the Sweet 16 in the Division III tournament. And I played a backup role on that team, and it was a very exciting season. We upset that season 2 national champions. The Division III defending national champions, Wabash College, we beat in their tournament at the holidays, and we beat the defending Division II national champion, Wright State, at their place. So we had a really good Division III team with some Division I talent on it, and it was pretty magical. And we were recognized in 2008 as the most decorated basketball team in Heidelberg history with the Hall of Fame induction.
Awesome.
That was very cool.
And then upon graduation from Heidelberg, you went on and continued your education, and obviously you earned a master's degree, and you also went on and earned your doctorate degree as well.
That's right. After seminary, I got into teaching, and I was teaching high school in Indiana and became a high school basketball coach. I thought I might do that. I had friends in the business, like Damon Goodwin and others.
Right.
And I thought I might do that, and I decided that my real calling was, I think, to study and to get into higher ed, which is the path I took, and it was really the best path.
Right.
And as a college professor and writer, a researcher, and all that, with children, Chris and I had a family.
Sure.
I was able to pick up coaching later. And I wound up coaching my sons, Mitch and Sam, in several different sports, including soccer and baseball.
Cool.
And that was really rewarding.
That's always neat.
Really good. That was one of the best parts of my life, was coaching them.
And, of course, you are a professor at Miami University and down there. And not only that, but there we just saw on the play was Carter Steinberg, who's in at quarterback now for the Rough Riders, picked up good yardage.
It was a nice run.
Absolutely.
Broken play, but takes it around the side and makes a great play out of it. He's
Excellent.
fast too, really quick.
Yeah. So the Rough Riders lead with 55-0, and obviously right now Coach Bo Fry starting to insert some of his younger players, and of course the Rough Riders. We talked about this during the Bo's show, that if they continue to win out, obviously they should be able to remain in the top 8 in the division, and when you finish in the top 8, you get at least a home game in the first round of the playoffs. So that's what they're kind of shooting for. So the Rough Riders to end the season will have Elida next week. We'll be there to bring you the game. Bath on the road the following week, and then Drew Jacobs will be joining me for that ball game, as you'll be taking another vacation. I'll tell you what, if I can get an agent like yours, I'll tell you what, that's awesome. That's what I'm shooting for. And, of course, we'll wrap it up here with the Salina Senior Bulldogs, a big cross-the-lake rivalry. And
big
it
game.
always has been, always big. You remember any of those Salina St. Mary's basketball games, rivalries?
Yeah, well, yes. The basketball game I remember was watching Willie Gillis score 17 straight points in the fourth quarter to tie Salina when he was a senior. They lost that game in overtime, but it was the best single game performance I ever saw from a Rider. And
sure.
You know, like I've said before, and I've written about it, the Rough Riders I saw play, like you and many others, inspired me to do basketball in St. Mary's. And that was a great gift of those young men and of course, the women to follow. So I'm very happy that I got to do that and see all that happen.
You know, and I've watched your vodcast on Rider Nation Station with you and Doug Spencer.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to do.
And if you haven't seen it, pull it up. You can see all the vodcasts, and you can see the about an hour interview with Tom on that. And in that vodcast, I had learned that you have written 22 books in that vicinity. Some of them included writing about your hometown experience.
Yeah, I wrote a lot about St. Mary's in my book, 50 Christmases. When I turned 50, and I was really interested in exploring some of my educational and life experiences as curriculum. So I wrote a book about that called 50 Christmases. And the first 22 years, of course, I really lived in St. Mary's.
Right.
All those years. And I wrote about the things that were happening in my life, and a lot of significant things happened around sports. And, you know, the induction today, this year for the Hall of Fame was for professional achievement, and I think that's the right place for me.
Right.
But sports really was a catalyst for my development.
Sure. Absolutely.
And I feel like probably a lot of people know that sports lends itself to helping students become interested, energized, focused, etc. So if you want to have a good student at home, someone who's going to class, let them play sports.
Absolutely.
Right? You grew up that way too.
Absolutely. That's the end of our third quarter, and the score on the Family Audiology scoreboard is the Rough Riders 50, the Kenton Wildcats nothing. We're talking with the Hall of Fame inductee Tom Petter, but we're going to take a break and we're going to listen to our Big Ralph Rider replay. Brought to you by Guarneri's Pizzeria and Pub, home of the signature Big Ralph Sub, Pizza and Calzone. Give them a call tonight at 419-394-2244, and we hope you enjoy this edition of our Big Ralph Rider replay.
Kenny fakes the handoff, looks over the middle, throws. It's intercepted by Van Vossler. Scott Vossler, 10, 5, and down to about the 3-yard line. Sophomore linebacker Scott Vossler stepped in front of the pass. There's no time left on the clock, so...
That's that edition of Big Ralph Rider. You remember that, Scott Vossler?
Yeah, I would have been I would have been 8th grade, I think. And Scott Vossler was just a great leader, great linebacker, played sophomore, junior, senior year, and now is a coach in Virginia.
Yep.
And runs the Skip Bachman wing team.
Does he really?
Absolutely.
Good for him.
Yeah. And, of course, later went on after graduation, or Memorial High School, went down and played at UD.
Absolutely.
And had a great career down there.
Right, and his younger brother Corey was in my grade and graduated with me and went down and played with him. And, how lucky to have two Vossler brothers, both in high school and in college.
Steinberg rolls to the left, and he'll pick up another Fowler TV first down. Our guest we're talking to is 2022 Hall of Fame inductee Tom Petter, and we've just mentioned some of the books that you have written, and of course 50 Christmases. That's available. If
it's
somebody
available.
wants to get it on Amazon, obviously.
Yeah, Amazon. Just type in 50 Christmases or my name, Thomas S. Petter or T.S. Petter. You can find the book. Or you can call me on the phone, and I'll send you a copy.
There you go. I got to ask you one question.
Yeah.
People that know you, know you by your nickname, Putt.
Yes, Putt.
I don't know how you got that name.
It's really, I don't know if it's that interesting, but growing up in the neighborhood around High Street, Perry Street, Wayne Street,
sure.
I grew up playing sports with the Burke boys in the neighborhood,
right.
Joe and Dan, and many other neighbors, including the Fennings and Buzz Kemp and many others.
Right.
And at the same time, I was 5 or 6 and starting to play in the neighborhood all the sports they were playing. They let me play all the time. I demanded it too, as you can imagine. And the putt-putt cars came out, the little wooden cars, and they saw me putting around, my little legs, and that's what they called me, putt-putt.
And it's stuck with you.
And it stuck. And, there are certain people in the world who can call me Putt, and rolls off their tongue, like my brother and Tom Bensman and Damon Goodwin and my buddy Mark Davis for life and Sky Shelby. I mean, all people like that, and Mark Cisco. That's my name.
Right,
and
exactly.
So when people call me that out loud in public, my wife understands it. She knows I'm Putt.
Right.
But other people are like, who the heck is that?
Exactly. Well, we're going to stay with it. We're going to go back here. We're going to the Rough Riders are knocking on the door here. They got the ball, we'll call it 3rd and goal. The ball is placed about the 2-yard line. Of course, Carter Steinberg is your quarterback. They'll turn.
Ooh, so close.
Kenton Wildcats.
Caleb
defensive
Schmidt.
front. Caleb Schmidt.
Yeah, got some really nice touches last week, and he's done pretty well tonight. And takes someone for a couple yards, but gets stopped just near the goal line.
So it'll be 4th and goal. The Rough Riders obviously are going to go for it.
I think I'd like to see a quarterback sneak, but we'll see. Carter Steinberg on the last quarterback sneak took it for 2 or 3 yards.
Well, I think the Rough Riders have scored on every possession.
Yeah. This would be the first stop of the night.
Well, we'll see what happens here. It's 4th and goal. The Rough Riders have it at the 1-yard line. Turn, give the ball, and the Rough Riders are going to be turned away for the first time tonight by the Kenton defense. One final question, Tom, before I let you go. You've had an opportunity to, and maybe you've been here in the past, but you've seen the Grand Lake Health System, the athletic complex here, and, of course, been in the high school. What is your opinion?
Well, it's beautiful.
It is.
Of course, and it's state-of-the-art. And, you know, of course, old-timers like me, you know, we grew up in McBroom Gym and on Skip Bachman Field, so we know what that is and what that was about. And that was a beautiful thing, too,
It
right?
was.
But this is really something.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed watching the game. Of course, the press box is awesome. And all of the work that's going on in media to bring the game to more people, that's really important. And I always enjoy when I'm away from St. Mary's listening to you and Zach and following the team. So thank you for all you do, too, and for all of the things that people like you and other St. Maryans have given to me in my life. I really appreciate it, Joe.
We love it, Tom, and we're glad to have you here. And again, congratulations and well-deserved induction into the Hall of Fame. And so we're going to let you go. We know you got some things to do and family to catch up with. And
Thank
so
you. It's been great to be on your program and Go Riders, right?
Absolutely.
Go Riders.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it.
Tom
Petter was our guest, and again, 2022 induction into the Hall of Fame, and just a joy to be with. So,
I just got to reiterate that Tom's vodcast with Doug Spencer is one of the best ones that we have on there.
Oh yeah.
I sat through the whole hour and it flew right by because it was so interesting. Every time I thought I learned something new, he had a new fact, and he truly could have been elected into the Hall of Fame for athletics, for professional achievement, for service to the schools, all three, and just a really, really deserving alumni.
There's a first down from a pass caught by number 23. That's Cooper Johnston for the Kenton Wildcats. It'll be 1st and 10. And I tell you what was amazing about Tom growing up, and of course I graduated with his brother Carl, and we had a group of guys that just kind of hung out. We played together. We played a lot of basketball, and we played in the parking lot at St. Paul's Church on that basketball there. And he talked about prior a facility down around Perry Street, Loshers. We used to gather there and play. But Tom was like five or 6 years younger than us, but always played basketball. We always got him involved in the game of basketball. And I'll tell you what, for being as young as he was, he held his own, and I'll tell you what, it showed as he moved up into high school.
He talked about that in the vodcast too. A lot of his learning was just on the fly there, in the neighborhood, just playing with the neighborhood kids. It was amazing.
Absolutely. So it'll be first down for the Kenton Wildcats, and again, we want to thank Dominic Guarneri and Jill Schmidtmeyer and Tom Petter for stopping up here at the press box and kind of sharing their story with us, and it's neat. Here comes polecat formation by the Kenton Wildcats, and it's going to be picked off. Underthrown, picked off by the Rough Riders. Good job by Caleb Felver, who comes up with the pick. And the Rough Riders, I'll tell you what, Coach Fry has got to be pleased with the takeaway tonight.
Absolutely. That should be the third interception and
two fumbles.
So five turnovers.
Takeaways. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rough Riders. New quarterback in the ball game, number 12. That's Luke Bournes. Well, he forgot to get the play. Now he's got to run all the way back. Oh, we do have a timeout. So with 5:32 remaining, we're going to take a break. We'll come back with the winner of our trivia question when we come back to Grand Lake Health System Field right after this.
If you're looking to renovate your home, former Rough Rider football standout Craig Hewer is your go-to man. Hewer Renovating is an all-phase residential specialist with over 40 years experience and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Improve your investment by giving Hewer Renovating a call at 419-394-8643.
All righty, we're going to give you the winner to our trivia question, and we've got quite a few answers, but to this point in time, nobody has gotten this correct answer. Now, when you talk about quarterbacks that have passed against St. Mary's, obviously it's Kenton Wildcats, and this quarterback played for Kenton, and a lot of people remember the Britton Crates era. Britton Crates graduated, went to Michigan State and played, and then later transferred out. I think he played at the University of Dayton. Ben Mock, Matty Mock, they remember. But this, people don't remember this. This individual for Kenton threw for 650 yards against the St. Mary's Rough Riders in 2019, and that was Blaine Houston.
Blaine Houston, 650 yards in 2019. I remember we were up at that game. It was at Kenton, and the craziest part of this, Joe, is St. Mary's won. Most yards ever scored against St. Mary's.
Passed against.
Or most yards against St.
Thrown against St. Mary's, and you won.
And we won. Yeah.
And I think, in all honesty, when I looked at the statistics of this game, I think they ended up with 659 yards of total offense. They had 9 yards rushing, and that's it.
Yeah.
650 of them came through the air.
They couldn't stop us either. I think we had 500 yards of rushing.
Wow.
And but we scored every time. They would drive down and not be able to score a couple times, and that was enough for us to continue.
Wow. So Blaine Houston is the answer, and I don't think we've had anybody with a correct answer. So
what I can do is I can just look at anybody who answered, and we'll do a random.
We'll do that. Absolutely, we'll do that.
So I'll do a random number generator here, and we'll figure it out.
So on the carry there for the Rough Riders was Caleb Schmidt. Luke Bournes, your quarterback for the Rough Riders. He's the third quarterback the Rough Riders have used tonight. Oh, here we got some room. We got some room down the sideline, and the ball carrier was Luke Rammel. Nice run by Luke as he picks up another Fowler TV first down. Clock continues to run. 55-0, the Rough Riders on top.
All right, so since nobody guessed it correctly, we just did a random number generator and found Greg Dykus is going to be the winner of the pizza tonight. The winner of the losers, I guess.
Yeah. So Greg can pick up a $15 gift card for a pizza at Guarneri's Pizzeria and Pub at Laura Yelton State Farm Insurance, their office, during normal business hours next week. So if Greg is watching, or if you know Greg, give him a call and say, hey, you want a 15-inch pizza from Guarneri's? Pick it up at Laura Yelton State Farm Insurance. And if you call him, then tell him you want to have a little bit of that pizza as well.
A couple of people didn't think that. They thought it was total career passing yards against us.
No, just in one game.
Just a single game,
Single game. So the Rough Riders picked up a Fowler TV first down. Luke Rammel on the carry. We've got a Dave Weilbacher penalty on the play. We'll see if that goes against the Rough Riders, but clock continues to run. And it's going to go against the Rough Riders. holding St. Mary's. They'll move the ball back.
Here it comes.
Clock's even ticking during the penalty
Number 60,
show.
the offense, 10 yards to the side of the foul. First down.
So we'll call it first down and 12 for the Rough Riders. The ball is placed at the Rough Rider 25-yard line. Here comes Luke Bournes into the huddle with the offensive play from offensive coordinator Kobe Fry. Give the ball to Noah Dixon on the carry. We'll give Dixon a gain of 2 on the play. We'll call it, we'll give him a gain of 3. We'll call it second down and 9. By the time the ball is snapped, we'll be under 60 seconds to play in this contest. Do you have other scores by any chance? I failed.
Oh,
I have
about that.
I have failed to look. Nice run.
Schmidt.
I think that was Noah. That was number 38, the ball carrier. That is Caleb Schmidt.
Joe looking a little bit at the WBL. Wapakoneta is up 21-7 over Elida. Van Wert is up 29-14 over Shawnee. Defiance is beating the Bath Wildcats 35-0. And Salina Bulldogs beat the OG Titans 14-7.
Wow. That's going to conclude it here as far as the game is concerned as the clock winds down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Your St. Mary's Rough Riders win this one going away as they shut out the Kenton Wildcats tonight in the Hall of Fame game. And on the Family Audiology scoreboard, it's the St. Mary's Rough Riders 55, the Kenton Wildcats nothing. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with the Hewer Renovating post-game show right after this.
Kogi Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has brought the best in comfort control and plumbing services to the St. Mary's area for over 57 years. Kogi's takes pride in identifying heating, plumbing, and air conditioning solutions which stand out from the rest. Give Kogi's a call today. Kogi Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, a name you can trust.
Are you looking for a new trailer or needing your current one fixed? Then head over to Midway Trailer Sales. We're conveniently located just off U.S. Highway 33 in St. Mary's and Interstate 75 in Dayton. We're your one-stop shop for new and used trailers, flatbeds, and snowplows. We also offer a wide array of parts to fit your trailer's needs. Our professional service team will get you back on the road in no time. And of course, we're Ohio's only authorized Humpty Hopper dealer. Come visit us at www.midwaytrailers.net. When you need a haul, give Midway a call.
Miller Funeral Home has been serving the Rough Rider community in its time of need since the 70s. Our business is a family affair, dedicated to serving families with integrity, dignity, and compassion. Miller Funeral Home, proud to be a supporter of the Rough Rider community.
Alrighty, we welcome you back, and there you see on your screen that's Jake Fry, who was injured on the opening kickoff in this contest, and of course you can see it looks like he's almost already has a cast on his ankle.
Wow.
So the Rough Riders win it going away by a score of 55-0 over the Kenton Wildcats. You see the teams huddled in the center of the field, and of course this is being sponsored by the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and of course Steve Stroh in the middle of that, and he's the executive director of the FCA in this region. So the Rough Riders will head over to their student body and the band as they will play the alma mater and go from there. But Zach, it's time now for our Hewer Renovating post-game show. For all your renovating needs, call Hewer Renovating, your residential specialist. Give him a call at 419-394-8643. That's Hewer Renovating in St. Mary's. Let's take a look at some of the numbers in the football game, and this is a game that was dominated from the get-go by the St. Mary's Rough Riders.
Yeah, looking at St. Mary's had 30 first downs, to Kenton's 9. Total yards 581 to Kenton's 167. And I'm here to tell you about 70 of those were at the end of the game. Passing completion, St. Mary's was 2 for 6 with 2 touchdowns. Kenton was 13 for 27 with 3 interceptions. St. Mary's had 95 passing yards. Kenton had 128. St. Mary's had 62 rushes for 486 yards. Kenton had 12 for 39 yards. St. Mary's, no fumbles on the night. Kenton, 3 fumbles, and 2 of those were lost. Penalties, St. Mary's got a lot better in the second half. 7 penalties for 61 yards. Kenton actually got a little bit better too. Finished the night with 7 penalties for 52 yards. St. Mary's was 6 for 9 on third down conversions, and Kenton was 1 for 7. Kenton punted the ball 4 times for 111 yards. Listen to this average drive start, Joe. St. Mary's started on average at their 44.2 yard line.
Wow.
And Kenton started at their 26.7. Time possession, St. Mary's 28 minutes, 38 seconds to Kenton's 13 minutes, 50 seconds. Individually, Cody Wallace, 2 for 6, 95 yards. Aiden Hinkle finished 15 rushes for 161 yards, 3 touchdowns. His longest yard was 43 yards, and that, of course, brings him over the 1,000-yard mark on the season. Caleb Schmidt finishing with 10 rushes for 57 yards there. Braden Sullivan finishing with 8 rushes for 67 yards. And looking at receiving, Keegan Sharp, 2 catches for 95 yards. Over on the Kenton side, Corton Johnston, 9 completions on 21 attempts. Luke Leffler, 4 completions on 6 attempts. So not a whole lot on the Kenton side of the ball tonight.
Andy Ramel just indicated to me, and I don't think we have all the rushers up there, but 10 Rough Riders carried the football tonight.
Wow.
So the Rough Riders got great performance by their starters, and of course, as the substitutions started to filter in the course of the contest, they got great play from them. So probably the best all-around ball game that the Rough Riders have played this season. Offensively, they've been consistent.
Definitely, Joe.
I think the Rough Riders, I think this is their first shutout that they've pitched of the season, I believe. So
let's talk a little bit about those running backs.
Sure.
10 running backs. I already went through Aiden Hinkle, Caleb Schmidt, and Braden Sullivan. Colton Mabry, 8 rushes for 58 yards. Dominic Osborne, 7 rushes for 44 yards. Keegan Sharp, 3 rushes for 22 yards. Carter Steinberg, 3 rushes for 22 yards. Cody Wallace, 3 rushes for 12 yards. Luke Ramel, 2 rushes for 40 yards. Noah Dixon, 2 rushes, 0 yards, or 1 yard. And so looking at that, Joe, Andy Ramel over here pointed something out to me. That's 8 running backs that average over 5.5 yards per carry.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, you do that consistently, you're going to win ball games. And there you see on your play the throwback to Keegan Sharp for a touchdown. And you and I have talked about this all year, and we've seen them where he would roll one way and the throwback was wide open. But tonight they called it, and it worked to perfection. So absolutely just a great ball game all around for the Rough Riders. So
put a lot of plays out there for future teams to have to look at defending tonight as well.
Absolutely, and again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the program, the Rough Riders are the #1 running offense in the Western Buckeye League. If you can stop the running game, you can stop the Rough Riders, and nobody has seemed to do that to date. And so even though they lost to Van Wert and Walpock, they still run the football extremely well. So that's going to do it for Rider Nation Station. That's going to do it for Rider Nation Station here at Grand Lake Health Systems Field. And I am stamping all over my headset, everything.
You can't tell us to move
exactly
very quickly.
And the camera snuck up on us all of a sudden. So we want to thank our entire Rider Nation Station crew. The camera crew did a great job. Ross Henshin, Brandon, and Doug Spencer down on the field. In the truck, it's Dave Weilbacher and Logan Yelton and Rich Spencer pushing all the buttons to make this happen. And we hope you enjoyed our Hall of Fame coverage.
Every week we ask them for something new,
Absolutely.
Tonight it was an extra headset and a camera up here in the press box, and they just deliver it week after week.
I want to thank Dominic Guarneri and Jill Schmidtmeyer and Tom Petter for coming up and chatting with us as well. So that's going to conclude it here from Grand Lake Health Systems Field. The Rough Riders win it, going away 55-0. With the win, the Rough Riders run their record to 4-2 in the Western Buckeye League, 5-2 overall. Next week, they will be on the road. They'll be at Elida. Of course, Rider Nation Station will be there to bring you all the coverage. So once again, for our entire Rider Nation Station crew, for my colleague Zach Farrell, I'm Joe Hurlbert. We'll see you next week with more Rough Rider football here on Rider Nation Station. So until then, so long, everyone.
If you want a winning banking relationship for all your financial needs, let Minster Bank help. We can make all your winning dreams come true. Find us at minsterbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Plus One Professionals Real Estate always goes the extra mile. Besides listing and selling, they offer free use of their moving van and a free interior design consultation to their customers. Plus One Professionals, going the extra mile.
Colder weather is just around the corner, and you want to make sure your family's vehicle is tuned up and ready to go. Rabel's Auto Service has been voted the best auto repair center in St. Mary's the last 3 years. And did you know they will pick up and deliver your vehicle for free? Give Rabel's Auto Service a call at 419-394-1624 or stop in and see Jeremy at 1610 Salina Road in St. Mary's. Rabel's Auto Service in St. Mary's. Give them a call today.
Speckman Automotive, with stores in St. Mary's and Wapakoneta, is your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs. Family run since 1960, Speckman Automotive upholds the tradition of blending old-fashioned customer service with modern technology that the customers expect and deserve. Shop local. Shop Speckman Automotive.
Hello, I'm Dr. Robert Spees. Welcome to Spees Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
As a family practice, Spees Chiropractic welcomes in patients of all ages. Whether this is your first time or you've done this before, Dr. Spees and his compassionate staff are here for you. What makes Spees Chiropractic unique is their 3-tier approach. By using chiropractic care alongside massage therapy and physical therapy, all your healthcare needs will be treated compassionately and comprehensively. Spees Chiropractic. Make the right choice for your care.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Unique Awards and Signs, here to take care of your signage, graphic award, and gift customization needs. From banners for your graduate or corporate sponsors to awards recognizing those dedicated employees or champion sport teams. Stop in at 1865 Salina Road or call us at 419-394-1612.
VFW 9289's mission is to honor all veterans, past, present, and future. Come on out on Football Friday nights to watch the live stream of Rough Rider football. VFW 9289, a proud sponsor of Rider Nation Station.
Head to Varsity Lanes for the pregame or postgame party. Dinner, beverages, and bowling with the best prices in town. Varsity Lanes also specializes in birthday parties or office and corporate parties of all sizes. Varsity Lanes is the home of 2 boys and 2 girls state championship titles. Eat, drink, and bowl where the state winners are built. Proud supporters of Rough Rider Athletics, Varsity Lanes.
Do you find yourself faced with injustice or confronted with a legal matter that you need help resolving? If so, call attorney David Walbacher at 216-225-9181. That's attorney David Walbacher for all your legal needs.
Thanks for watching another episode of Rider Nation Station. Help us help you by subscribing on YouTube or following us on Facebook.